fellow creator. Since the war began, over 1.5 million children have fled Ukraine, becoming refugees. And another 75,000 children are displaced every single day. According to UNICEF, this is an unprecedented refugee crisis not seen since the Second World War. And so it's time to take action and join together as creators for peace.
My name is Jeff.
I'm Travis.
I'm Dan Carson.
And I'm
a creator
for peace.
UNICEF provides life-saving essentials to vulnerable children and families all across the world. And right now, such help is urgently needed in Ukraine. And so this is why we started Creators for Peace, to ask your help in raising awareness of the humanitarian crisis and raise funds for those affected. So what we're asking you to do on the 21st of March 2022 is post videos, images, status updates that turn the internet into Creator for Peace Week. If you're looking for video ideas, start by embracing Ukrainian culture within your topic. Whether it be acrylic pouring of the colours of the Ukrainian flag, or how video games can provide crisis aid, baking Ukrainian bread, or the impact on chip shortages and the car industry, Ukrainian musical street performances, or if you have a Minecraft channel, well, the idea literally builds itself. And it doesn't have to be a video. It could be a live stream, a YouTube short, a YouTube story, a TikTok, a community post. There are no rules or regulations. As a creator for peace, all we want you to do is connect with your audience, raise awareness, ask for donations. If you do need any help or inspiration creating your content, do make sure to check out our website where we have plenty of assets for you to use. vidlQ is starting this campaign because we have Ukrainian team members with children who have been directly impacted by this crisis. Fortunately, they are safe, but there are millions more children in Ukraine who are currently in danger.
My name is Austin Evans.
My name is Roberto Blake.
I'm Sean.
I'm Nate, and I'm a creator for peace.
I am a creator for peace.
I am a creator for peace.
And I'm a creator for peace.
Through your videos, through your pictures, through your posts, ask your audience to go to www.creatorsforpeace.com and make a donation to UNICEF. You can make a difference, raise awareness, ask for donations, become a creator for peace. Thank you. There we go. There we go. I forgot to add myself to the live stream while the video was playing. Let's try that again. Hey everyone, I'm Rob. Welcome back to vidlQ. And as always on a Tuesday, we are doing channel audits, but they are channel audits with a little bit of a difference this week. You may be aware that vidlQ has started this movement called Creators for Peace. And this week, our content is dedicated to the Creator for Peace movement and raising not only awareness, but funds for the humanitarian crisis in the Ukraine, in particular, the child refugee situation. There are over 1.5 million children currently displaced from Ukraine. That number increases by 75,000 every single day, and they need our support. So through this live stream, what we're going to be doing is asking for your donations through the button on screen now, whether it's to the right of the live stream or just underneath on the mobile app. We're asking you to donate, and through those donations, we will be auditing your channels. To give you a little bit more context there, our suggested amounts is $20 or above, which will mean that we will attempt to prioritize your channel as much as we can. We don't know how many donations we're going to get. We thank you for anything that you donate, but as we say, $20 or above will put you on the priority list. If it's under $20, then we are going to put you into the world famous or possibly infamous claw, where you may be randomly selected for a channel. And if you can't donate, if you don't have any money, that's fine. We completely understand that. We're going to give some free opportunities for channel audits a little later on in the live stream. So while we're waiting for our first donations to come through, and thank you very much in advance for those donations, I'm going to welcome on our collection of guests today, and they are, as you may have seen, the Creators for Peace team. Here we are, Dan. Hello. I know you're probably busy organizing stuff in the background, so if you just want to look at the camera for 1 second and say, "Hey yo," that will be enough.
Hey yo, that'll be enough.
All right, then. Good stuff. Let's bring on Jeff as well, joining us. Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
Doing well. How's it going?
I've heard you may have some interesting voices to play today, but we may only request them on donation.
Sounds good.
So that's a little bit of a teaser. And last but certainly not least, he's saving on electric today, but it is Travis in-house. Hey, Travis, how you doing?
Hey, everybody.
All right, so welcome to all of you auditors. Welcome to all of you as creators. And yeah, what we're going to try and do now is start to audit channels. Let's get straight into it. Let's see what we have. Dan, have we got any channels that have come just yet, or are you still in a few minutes?
I'm just adding a whole bunch right now, and then I just had to do an exchange rate thing because somebody gave currency, and I just wanted to check that it was the right amount, and it was. So thank you everybody for all of your donations. I'm grabbing so many names right now. It's a little bit absurd, but
it is incredible. Yeah. I didn't realize that we were going to have all these fantastic donations, which is brilliant. I think we were at $900 when this live stream started, and now we're at $1,200. So there's already been a significant number of donations.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to try and let's bring up a channel first of all to get us started with auditing, and Dan, and then I can maybe help you with the list a little bit. So Fishing with John Danny, was that the first channel that you sent to me? Is that correct?
I think so. They were all laid out properly, and then the private chat put them on one line. So I'm sorry.
Oh dear. Right. Okay. So I'm going to try and find that channel, and then we can get ourselves started. And I can't find that channel, which is a fantastic start. Why is that channel not appearing? Okay, let me have a look here. Let's see. No, I can't find that channel, so I'm going to come back to it.
No, Danny, just Fishing with John.
Fishing with John. Okay, right. I see what you mean by the list. It's completely thrown everything out, hasn't it? So bear with us, folks. We're going to get this logistically right in a minute. We knew this was going to be a bit chaotic to begin with. Okay, there are a few Fishing with Johns as well, which doesn't help.
No.
So first audit thing, change your name. Something that's not.
Let's show you here what we're trying to contend with here in terms of. I'm going to see if I can.
Okay, it's the second one.
It's the second one. All right, brilliant. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to throw this over to Travis and Jeff to start their auditing, and me and Dan are kind of going to scurry away in the background and try and load up some channels to make sure that we're ready to go.
Yep.
All right, it looks like there's a bunch of shorts here. So tank fishing, unboxing, salt runner, testing. Okay, so this, for all intents and purposes, is a shorts channel, at least recently.
Yeah.
Has that always been the case? Good question. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, at least for the last couple of weeks, which there's a lot of content for shorts, which is great. Of course, if you're doing shorts, having more content is better. I would then, of course, ask myself, what is it about this? What are you trying to get out of this channel? Are you just wanting to kind of share your passion and that sort of thing? Are you trying to grow it? And if you're trying to grow it, what exactly are you trying to grow it into? Obviously, with shorts, you don't really need to worry about thumbnails. You do need to have something that's visually interesting. And it looks like there's a couple of videos that are slightly longer, but for the most part, it's just all shorts. So again, what's the end result that you want to accomplish? If it is just to get some really cool videos out there in a short amount of time, and hopefully get them out there, that's awesome. If you want to grow your channel and have some type of influence, then I would suggest trying to figure out a way to get some longer form content sprinkled in there.
Yep. No, I agree.
Jeff?
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. It just depends on what the ultimate goal is for John here with this fishing channel. I'm not sure, how long they've been in the game for, but from what we can see, at least from the view that we have here of it, looks like it's mostly shorts from even going back over a month. And yeah, it looks like it started as a shorts channel, and that's what it is. So yeah, I mean, I agree with Travis. I think if anything, you can pull in some excellent views. Like there's a few of these that popped off into the thousands. So they did fairly well there, but it just depends on what the goal is. Some long form content can definitely go a long way. If you wanted to mix it in, you don't have to. I mean, a lot of people do, or they'll start a separate channel for that. But I would definitely start kind of thinking about where you want this to go. Is this just a hobby? Or are you trying to turn this into a business? And also think about diversifying. If you're already making this short content, hopefully they're putting this on Instagram Reels and on TikTok as well, because you can easily repurpose this content and grow, and kind of diversify your audiences.
All right, Dan, if you had a chance to look at the channel, are you still in the background doing stuff?
I've not had a second to look at the channel.
No problem. Just any final thoughts here, Jeff and Travis, if we haven't covered anything. Like, did we mention thumbnails at all?
Yeah, I mean, because most of these are shorts, so
yeah,
kind of pointless. But again, really, I think it comes down to what is it you want your channel to be. If you want to have influence and have maybe companies that have things to do with fishing reach out to you and such, maybe do sponsorships and all that sort of thing. Getting into longer form content might be the way to do that. Shorts is fun, super easy, kind of hit or miss for shorts, depending on what the content is. But I guess you could say that about all of it. Just understanding what your core audience wants.
Yeah, this unboxing is a full-length video too, which is kind of surprising. I didn't notice that one at first.
Yeah, I saw it earlier on. It seems like they wanted to try that along the way. Again, just depends on what you're trying to accomplish.
I'm just going to sort by most popular here very quickly, because there are several videos actually that have got over 1,000 views, which is very encouraging. I'm wondering if there's a link between them. And
I think it's visual stuff. It's all visual. Like that's what shorts are.
I was thinking if it was like bait reviews, it seems to be most popular. But is that the majority of the channel anyway? It looks to be, yeah.
If you're not already, I would spend some time on TikTok and YouTube Short Shelf and just kind of look at any shorts on there and see what about them resonates with you. Shorts need to be like really quick and snappy, funny at times. So if these, because just by the look of them, it's you holding up a lure or something and then describing what it is, what it does. And if that's what it is there an audience for that? Is kind of my question. Maybe it's more than that. Maybe you're doing a lot more visually stimulating things, and that'll get people to stop the scroll. But yeah, when it comes to shorts, it really is all about your editing and making them like super, super intriguing in the first like 1 second.
All right. Okay. So in the background, Dan and I have been furiously putting together a list. Dan, thank you for sending them all to me. I'm sort of halfway there. I mean, folks, incredible the number of donations you've already given us. So we're going to try to move through these channels as quickly as we can. I just want to add a disclaimer. We apologize in advance if we miss any channels or can't find any channels. But we've got another hour and a half to try and get through them all. So let's move on to the next one. And I think, Dan, you said that Chillin Play donated a fantastic $150.
Nice.
I think this is the right channel.
I
hope it is.
No, that's not them.
Okay, well, let's
Chill Play. One word.
Chill Play. One word.
One word.
With two L's. Was it still?
Yes.
Okay, let's see if that's what comes up.
Let me double check. Let me see if I can find their donations so we can understand their icon here, which should be above.
Me too.
It's going to be one of those days with channel names.
It's already, so in the list, it's already disappeared as well, which is really frustrating. You know what? Chill Play.
There it is. It's the second one.
This one. Oh, Thank you, Jeff. This one, Yep. Brilliant. Thank you.
We got him. All right, cool.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
We got him.
Okay. Fire away. Let's start with you, Dan, and then we'll carry on.
If we can maybe zoom in a little bit, because it looks like I can see the Pokemon Arceus logo everywhere. It looks like they've kind of went all in on that. So Pokemon Legends Arceus episode 3. So they're streaming. Okay, perfect. All right. Pokemon and Chill. Okay, so it's a chill channel. They're playing through the new Pokemon Legends game, which is a fantastic game. I have this game. It's awesome. So if you're going to be live streaming, I think these are live streams. Then again, they're not saying streamed.
I think it might be re-uploads of streams. Maybe it's a Twitch stream or something, because they don't say streamed. I think they're uploads of full streams.
Could we click on one just to see if it like starts with a countdown timer? Or
I've got a question for you, Jeff. When you edit live streams, are they still counted as streams?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only if I take a section of it out and then re-upload it as its own video, then it'll just count as its own video. But even if I chop down a stream, it still shows as stream.
Yeah, it's just a long video.
I got it. So this is very interesting. I've never seen anyone capture gameplay like this. I've definitely seen people try to point their camera at a phone or a Switch, and usually they do their best to have it fill the screen. What you've done is done a very picturesque, thing where your Switch is sitting in this room. There's some shallow depth of field on the lens. It looks really nice. However, it's so small. Like, it's almost impossible, I think, for the viewers to see the gameplay. And if I'm looking for Pokemon Legends gameplay, I'm sorry, I don't think I stop on this one. I understand that the point of it, just based on the way you've done your titles and thumbnails, is chilling, right? You're trying to hang out with your audience, and it's supposed to be really casual. It's less about the gameplay and maybe like the music in the background and just the whole vibe that you're trying to create. But then the question becomes, like, is there like a significant audience for this? Because the people who are looking for lo-fi kind of beats, like that niche is covered on YouTube, right? They get that from videos that just do that. And then if they're looking for Pokemon Arceus gameplay, that niche is covered because people are doing full screen, commentary, like high value content. So I think you're trying to merge these two things, and it's an interesting concept, but I would be doing research and trying to figure out, like, is there enough of an audience here? Can we like maybe search real quick, Rob? I know you're busy. Maybe just by most popular. Maybe they've done this with another game, and just maybe they're just trying to recapture that. Chill play, Pokemon Snap, and Minecraft. So they've gotten some of these. Some of these have like a significant amount of views, but look how long they've been at it. 10 months, a year, 10 months. And the payoff on some of these has been relatively low. I'd be asking myself some really difficult questions. Travis, sorry, what were you about to say?
No, it's interesting. It's this is one of those times when I've done this before too, where you attempt a new series or attempt something new that's not being done on YouTube, and because it's not being done on YouTube, there's really no viewership for it. It doesn't mean there can't be. It doesn't mean that there's not a potential audience out there. It's just that YouTube's going to have a very hard time finding it, and it's going to be generally speaking, a slow growth thing, unless it's just weirdly, spectacularly Mr. Beast-ish. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if you enjoy doing it and that's kind of your thing, cool. And if you believe that there is an audience out there for this, it just might take a while. But you're definitely one of the few doing it. So that, again, could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. It just depends on how you look at it. And there is something kind of cozy about it. It's almost like an ASMR thing, but not really. So it feels like you wouldn't actually watch this. You would have it in the background, like just running.
Right. That's why I'm concerned about the audience, because it's like you're playing a game. Is the game getting in the way of the lo-fi beats? Like, if people are looking for some like lo-fi beats, is the gameplay in the background distracting from that at all?
Yeah. I mean, there's something to this, but I'm unsure who. Yeah. I mean, then again, listen, people watch people eat, so I don't know. It's totally possible. So I think there's something to it. I just don't know what the audience is for it. But if you're enjoying it and you're one of the only ones doing it, then dope. Be that one place that people have to go to see it.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, that is Chill Play. Thank you very much for the very generous donation. We're going to continue to try and prioritize the biggest donations. And that next one is Investing with Matt, who I think donated $100. So awesome. Thank you very much. Let's have a look at what looks to be a financial channel, making money and investing simplified.
Cool. Very cool. Like Mr. Beast, 12 days ago, a bunch of shorts. Some, shorts are kind of hit or miss, just like anything else. Network by age, budget. So yeah, there's a lot of channels that do like financial education / advice, but it's usually something that's very obvious, like it'll be cryptocurrency or it'll be, investing in real estate or something like that. I'm unsure exactly which one, if this is any of those or if it's just trying to be a little bit of everything or not. Because you'll see like how to invest. Every beginner investor must start with these, and then there's like SSI, and then being broke and index funds. So it feels like it's a little bit more broad, which there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. But again, much like everything on YouTube, the fastest way to grow is to have something a little bit more laser focused. But I mean, it's not a bad thing to be in, because the CPMs and RPMs are really nice on channels like this. So that's great. And secondarily, once YouTube figures out who your viewership is, assuming that you're getting good view durations and they're shareable and that sort of thing, then this can do very well.
I'm just wondering if the target audience is a bit too broad, as you were kind of hinting at here, Travis, in terms of there's a video here about Bitcoin, which is very much about investing, and then there's videos here about paying off debt. And it feels as if maybe the motivation of those two views is going to be quite different. And you may not be able to reach both types of audience on a single channel like this. I mean, this SSI one is really interesting. I don't know what that is. I assume that's maybe some sort of how would you call this? Financial support from the government. Am I right there? Which would kind of lead it towards a certain type of viewer who has access to that. But maybe that same viewer isn't about to buy loads of Bitcoin because they don't have that disposable risk and reward type of money in their hands. And if you sort by most popular, I'm seeing Social Security, nothing but that in the top list here.
Yeah, there's a huge demographic of people that really directly impacts, especially people who are like fixed income, stuff like that. So I don't think he wants to turn into a Social Security only channel. I doubt that they would want to do that. But even if they did quarterly updates or monthly updates, that would be at the very least stay on topic of what has worked very well for this channel in particular. But I agree, it sort of seems like a general financial channel, which finance is a niche, but a lot of the big channels within the finance niche are channels that have chosen a lane to go into, whether it's credit cards, whether it's NFTs or cryptocurrency, or whatever it might be. If it's what do they call that, personal financing, like how to set up your own personal finances and stuff like that, or if you're doing a business. So there's different avenues that you can take. So that'd be something where I would start looking at those different lanes of possible traffic, which ones of the topics that you talk about on your channel are the strongest, and start trying to focus on like those 2, 3, or 4 things mainly, to see which ones work best, to start kind of developing a strategy of the types of videos and topics of videos that are always going to work for your channel.
All right. Any more thoughts in particular? Maybe looking at the thumbnails again, just looking at the thumbnails of the most popular ones. Yellows and whites seem to be, and this very blocky, easy to read text are also hints at what's working well on this channel.
Yeah, simple and effective.
Yeah. All right, so that is investing with Matt. We thank you greatly for investing in this humanitarian cause. I really do appreciate that. We'll move on to the next channel, which I think was another $100 donator, and they go by the name of Devs Mac. And it looks as if their channel is about coding and careers and gear in coding. Maybe we need to work that out through their contents.
Interesting. This feels like a lot of these like creator economy style videos. Like we see this a lot in our space where people talk about the lifestyle of being a YouTube creator, right? And they talk about, they vlog a lot about it, and they do those sorts of things. This feels like one of those channels, but for programmers.
Yeah.
It's just really an interesting take on it. I think the videos, they just looking at these thumbnails, they look like they're going to be of a high quality. I guess what I'm trying to figure out is like, are they teaching a lot of programming, or are they covering more or less like news around, products and gear and with a programming background.
Here's a very simple observation. In terms of a coding channel, you don't see channels like this in the coding space, do you? It's usually a lot of very simplified thumbnails with maybe a logo of one of the coding languages and maybe some text, but this is all very much creator driven and high production values. So that's kind of like a unique USP in itself. And we look at this video here with nearly 200,000 views.
Yeah,
which is incredible for a channel of this size, which is just cracked 10,000.
Think of the value of that video.
Here.
Like learn web development and actually get a job. It's only 12 minutes, so I don't think they're going to teach me web development in 12 minutes, but they're going to probably set me on a path to learning that. And your content can kind of be a gateway content for a lot of people to get into the field, which is really an interesting place to be. It's funny, like I got this like kick of inspiration the other day, like, oh, I thought of a game I'd love to make. So just out of curiosity, I started like looking up tutorials, and you're right, like it's completely different when you look up coding tutorials, because it's literally like, here's a playlist from like start to finish on how to learn this concept of game development for this program, and they're all very like straightforward. I never found a channel like this in all of the searching I was doing.
Oh, interesting. He's actually in chat and says the tech videos get views but not subs, and then the other videos get higher subs and good feedback from viewers, which makes sense. The tech videos aren't going to give you a lot of conversion, which is fine, but it's still getting some eyes out there. To me, at first glance, and I mean, Travis might agree or disagree here, but it looks to me like a tech channel. Like when I look at the thumbnails and everything, it looks like a tech channel. Like this is what the vibe that I get from it. But I think it's a really unique approach. Like I'm very intrigued by this channel, and I'm not even interested in like programming and being a developer or anything like that. But just like the stories that he's trying to tell, to me, that is intriguing. So I'm like, I like what I'm seeing here. I like the approach that's being taken here. It's something a little bit different. Not sure if it's been done in the space. I'm not that familiar with the space. But I agree, like what you said before, when we look at developer channels, programmer channels, coding channels, they have a look to them, and this look is not it, but that's fine because you're going left, and I love seeing that.
Yep, 100% agree. Definitely cool looking.
There is some fat that I think needs trimming from this channel, because you look at views on certain videos that have hundreds of thousands first of all, but the ballpark seems to be in the region of 1,000 to 3,000 views, but then occasionally we get these duds where there's one with 300 views, 250 views. So there is certainly a type of content that's really not resonating with your audience, and I think you need to identify them as much as possible and transition them out of your content, because they're just wasted videos at this point, given the momentum that you're on, which is very encouraging.
Yeah, but there's a lot of data here too, and then the comment section sounds like it's really valuable to this creator as well.
Doing well with the community tab already. I mean, to be getting thousands of votes for 10,000. So
excellent.
There's lots of really encouraging things for this channel. So I would be thinking, just as one final point, this feels like a gateway video. I mean, like the fact that it's getting still 100+ views per hour 3 weeks later, I would be thinking about if you could do a supplementary piece of content to that, whether it's a next step, like if I was just starting, like what would I do next? Or if there's any questions from that video, you could do a Q&A. But a lot of people are probably finding your content through this video. And so it's really important what they see next on the home and browse and suggested to convince them to click again, become return viewers. And then, as you were saying, you were struggling a little bit with subscribers, hopefully converting into subscribers. But now that you've probably unlocked everything with 10K subscribers, the only thing now you're working towards is the play button, which is a little far further forward in the distance. But we can see this channel maybe hitting 100K in the next 12 months if they have more videos like this one down here.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, so that is Devs Mac. There's a lot of channels. I'm not going to lie. We've had a lot of donations, which is awesome. I think I've already got at least 15 here. And Dan, you've sent me a mammoth list of more to come up. So I'm just going to keep bringing them over. And Jeff and Travis, if you just keep auditing them, and then we'll do our best to chime in when we can. This is Kimberly Go. And by the way, if we're auditing a channel and you're saying this is not my channel because I've mispicked it from the list, just shout as loudly as you can in the chat so we can find the right channel. Because I think I'm finding the right channels, but on a couple of occasions I've seen duplicates of the names. But I think this one is probably unique.
Okay.
All right. I don't understand what this channel's about. Interactive video. I don't know exactly what that means. Is anyone else aware?
I'm trying to think of maybe they're like a live streaming tips channel, but I'm not sure. And that confusion is already not good. Because if I'm confused, I'm not going to click. So it's one of those things where I'm sort of not sure what the channel's about. That's the only thing. Maybe it's just because I'm not familiar. Maybe it's because I'm not personally looking for this type of content. But like how to create branching scenarios, I have no idea what that means.
So probably the people who understand this understand it well, and they'll click. I guess and I always ask this for any niche. Like I say a million times, there's always more people just outside of your niche than are in your niche, no matter what that niche is.
Right.
So how do you bring people from outside of that might be interested in this content if they understood what it was?
So Wikipedia definition is interactive video is a form of digital video that supports user interaction. Interactive videos provide the viewer an ability to click on a desktop or touch on a mobile device within the video for an action to occur. So that's what it sounded like. And I like, if it's not that seems like interactive video is a very specific thing. And so yeah, I guess we need to know more about Go Animate or Beyond.
Yeah, there's two products there, which I think are mentioned in some of the titles, like Beyond Tutorial. But for me, I would be wanting to see that logo in the thumbnail just to get that instant recognition when I'm scrolling. So
yeah,
if we do a search, okay, so I guess this is like the animation style. So that's probably going to relate to people who use this tool, and I guess that is the branding icon for the product. And then when we go back here, you just don't get that immediate, because the creator themselves is in the thumbnails. It kind of throws you a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah,
or at least it does for me.
Yeah, a little bit.
Makes them feel a bit more generic.
That's a good word to describe these, I think. I think from a thumbnail perspective, they tick all the boxes, they want to tick. They have text that's easy to read. They have a person making like a face and pointing and a simple background. But that's like, okay, you've ticked all the boxes, but there's like something missing. Like we have to think way too hard. Every single video causes us to think. And if your audience is thinking too hard about what this video is about, they're not going to spend the mental energy on it. They're just going to keep scrolling.
Yeah. And then also if videos or other content in this niche, if their thumbnails are completely different, like let's say the strategy is totally different and that's what's really working in that niche, then that could also be a part of the disconnect. Sometimes this can work either way. Like sometimes going left can really work. You can see it, if your clicks are higher, if you're getting way better views than your competitors, and okay, that can work. But that's something that I would be looking at as well. Like I wouldn't be like, if let's say theoretically, I wouldn't make this type of a thumbnail if I was doing a tutorial on how to bake a chocolate cake. You get what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't have like a little tiny picture of a cake where her hand is holding up like that wouldn't be it. So it really just depends on what types of thumbnails get clicked. So some research might be what it is, and maybe this is what it is. But I'm just going into it. Maybe it's because I'm not looking for this type of content personally, but it just confused me a little bit.
Yeah, I think the best thing this creator could be doing is what we just did. Look up other people covering these tools and see, most successful ones. Like what do their thumbnails look like, and can you kind of bring your own style to that concept of thumbnail?
And then in defense of the channel, what I will say is with 775 subscribers, the view counts actually are pretty healthy and consistent. They're getting 300 to 600 views per video. But in looking at those view counts, what I also spotted is we ain't seeing many videos from the channel right now. Maybe they're going into they've gone back to the brainstorming time for their channel, and they're going to kickstart it off again in a couple of months. But the momentum, I'm worried, has been somewhat lost, because I'm sure people searching for this content, I wouldn't say this is evergreen content. This was people watching your content as regular viewers or subscribers. It's not coming up in search. You're going to have to maybe come from a bit of a, how do I put this? You're going to be a few steps back from where you were, I think, unless you maybe use one of these most popular videos as a starting point, and your next video when you return is kind of a similar theme or topic, but these are like Camtasia. I don't think that's necessarily linked to what you're covering now. Yeah, these are very old, these most popular videos. Let's move on then from Kimberly Go, and I think the next one is from DevOps Journey. I can't remember how much they donated. I don't know if this was a bigger donation size. I think I've got them all now in the order of around $20. Yes, this is just one of the first that Dan sent me. This feels more like a coding channel, doesn't it?
This actually looks familiar. Like maybe a long time ago we've looked at them, but yeah. And you'll notice that the thumbnails look different than some of the other ones, and that's okay because at the end of the day, thumbnails need to be targeted towards the people who are viewing the content. If this is what they're used to, then this is what you use. You don't necessarily have to have the YouTuber face. You don't necessarily have to have your face in the thumbnail. Like those things don't apply when the content is, targeted at someone who's used to not seeing that. So yeah, using the logos from the software and such is a good way to go. And then also, while we may not understand some of the titles and some of these, as long as it's relevant to the person who would watch this type of content, then awesome.
Yeah, a lot of this is going to be search-based.
Yeah, looks to be, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think with search-based content, it's, we see some view counts that are pretty decent, but over time, these could increase a lot. It's just as you build up your library. That's kind of what this becomes about, is creating a library of searchable Python videos.
Let's have a look at most popular ones. And I will be looking at these 4 videos, certainly these first 2 or 3, and saying, I made these videos a year ago. You know what? I know more about these topics. I'm a better creator. I should remake these as my new flagship pieces of content that allow people to enter into my channel.
Wait, do they have a roadmap 2022? Because that one's 2021 specifically. So
exactly.
Hopefully they have one.
Let's see. How would I be able to find? There's one there, maybe. That's it from a year ago as well. So, and then here we look at this channel 5 months ago, 4 days ago. Let's get back on the YouTube horse.
Yeah, the consistency. So that's one thing. And here, just to be fair and throw this out there for everybody, life happens, and we get that. Life happens. So totally understandable. But one thing you have to understand is that once you take a break, you will lose momentum. And that happens. And you will have to regain that traction through consistency. You're going to have to grind it out. And this is something I've experienced multiple times when I've had to take breaks. And for me, it's different for every channel. For me, it usually takes about 3 months to get back to where I was and to really rebuild that momentum. So that's something you're definitely going to want to do if you took 5 months off or 4 months off or whatever it was. Just really kind of lock in, get your strategy together, get some of these videos that are your 2022 versions of some of your big videos, and start pumping those out, man, and kind of get back on the horse.
Anything else that we can think of then, other than to capitalize on our most successful videos, get back into YouTube? Everything else seems pretty good, doesn't it, in terms of view counts and channel health?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the views on these will probably continue to go up over time, because if they're evergreen, then the thing is, like, some of this stuff just takes a little bit of time. But yeah.
Let's bring in another channel. It is Gil Solano, REEGT. I wonder if that's some, what do you call them? Titles after the name. Apologies if my knowledge of this is severely lacking, but you're very clear in your value proposition. It is about epilepsy education. And I always want to start off these conversations with channels in that you represent like the foundation of YouTube, in that your videos may not get the most views, but there are people who have these same challenges in life and vulnerabilities. And when they go to YouTube and they find content like this that is relatable to them, that is so powerful for that viewer. So I just want to congratulate you first on a very noble channel and form of education that you have here. Having said that, how can they reach more people with this content?
Yeah. So the name of the channel, I will never remember. That's one problem. If I want to find this again and I can't remember the name of the channel, or if I am with a friend, maybe I find this and I go, oh shoot, I need to tell my friend about this channel. There's no way I remember this channel name. So I would really look into changing the name. Also, I would unhide my subscribers. I'm actually curious what you have, because you're getting pretty good views. So I would think that you have a good amount of
a couple of
subscribers.
thousand.
Yeah, completely unhide that. But yeah, I mean, make it so that it's easy so people can find you. You'd be surprised at how many views you get from someone searching your name. I mean, every month I get tons of views from people searching my name. So you should consider this. And then the titles are good for people that know what they're looking for. But some of these titles, I mean, I'll never be able to spell any of this stuff. And maybe if I was in this niche, like if I needed this information, I would know how to spell some of this stuff. But is there maybe other names? I mean, not that you should not use these names in the title thumbnail and such. You should in somewhere. But is there like another name or something that's easier for people to understand who don't know what this is, but might gain knowledge from it?
Mm-hmm.
Because let's say that I have this issue, but I have no idea what Topomax is, and I'm just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and I have no idea that it actually applies to me.
I would imagine some of these titles are drugs.
Yeah, I understand that. But let's say I am having these symptoms about something, and what if Topomax actually fixes it? But I would never know it by scrolling because I don't know what it is. Like I don't know that it exists. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you want to emphasize not the solution, the problem first. Like this
3
one might be
medications that are great for seizures is a great title. That's a title that's more relatable, and then you talk about Topomax and these other ones. You know what I mean?
Fantastic point. I was just thinking in terms of a channel name, like Epilepsy Explained might be a very simple way of branding your content a little bit more.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we think on thumbnails? Do you think that in terms of, and this is a question to anybody, do you think that such content needs to be a bit more direct and in your face with just big blocks of text, or there's still room for improvement here?
Yeah, I mean, they seem to be working. Again, if you look at, he says he has 400 subscribers, lots of views within the last, month and a half or so. So it seems to be working. But again, I think I go back to these words are, again, words you have to understand what they are before you would ever click them. And if you don't know what that is, then you're missing out potentially on more views.
I guess what would be a search be of like symptoms of epilepsy, and see how people are titling. See, the thumbnail quality here isn't that great, is it? I'm seeing PowerPoint slides or no attempt at a thumbnail whatsoever.
Yeah. But even some of these are giving me more information because they're pictures, so I can get an understanding more of what's going on. Than something like, diazepine or something like that. Like I just something to consider.
I've often seen this type of thumbnail used in health, where they do almost like a cartoonized or animation version of a thumbnail, and to take away a little bit of the seriousness of it, but then they can really emphasize graphically different aspects of what they're trying to show. So this is a good example of a thumbnail. Maybe a bit of outsourcing to Fiverr just to test some thumbnails might be an idea there as well. Any final thoughts, Jeff or Dan, before we move on?
No, I think I sort of agree with Travis in the beginning. I understand having their name as a doctor or as a trained technician in this, having that there. I think if anything, I would probably, because it seems like it's a lot of medications explained or epilepsy education explained. Maybe something along those lines might be better for a channel name. And then you can have your name in the about section, or you can have it in your video descriptions. But that might be a way to kind of get that out there a little bit more, to really make it kind of solidified exactly what your content's about. But I don't know. It's just a thought. Just a thought.
Here's a really simple question: is Gil a doctor? Because if they are, then maybe Dr. Gil
That's a cool
talks
name.
epilepsy. It adds credibility in something that I can understand, because I don't understand what EEG means. What I do appreciate is that you really identify your target audience in the about section. I think that's
Love that.
fantastic. You know who you're trying to appeal to, but maybe the marketing here is maybe a little stiff or dry, and it needs a little bit more accessibility.
Yeah, cool stuff.
All right then. All right, let's move on to the next channel, and this is Danny Bly, and I think this is a drone channel. Is it?
I love
Is it? Or
drones.
free digital assets.
I think we've looked at Danny's channel before. It looks very familiar. Very familiar, which is fine. It's not an issue. So, but it's just one of those where I'm like, I either that, or I've come across this channel in my own personal, roamings around the YouTube algorithm. But yeah, it looks highly familiar. Like, am I losing my mind?
New to me. I can't remember this channel.
Yeah, I mean it has the markings of cinematic type photography type channels, which is correct in my mind for a channel like this. But it's still, just by scrolling through it very fast, it is a little hard to kind of understand what part of it, you know what I mean? Like it feels like
both gear and technique.
It does.
Yeah. I would say that the thumbnails, as good as they are artistically, are maybe a little overproduced.
Right.
There's just a bit too much going on in all of these. To, as Dan says, it starts to make me have to think about what the video is about rather than it being really obvious.
Let's look at the most popular. Let's see if there's a trend in the videos that actually got clicked versus the other ones that are very artsy. So interesting.
Nothing really viral yet. Haven't had a big video pop.
That got taken to court. Okay. Yeah, I hear you though. Sony done it all wrong. Okay.
I wonder if the Think Media channel might be a good one to look at for thumbnail inspiration.
Oh yeah, for simplicity, yeah, 100%. Yeah, because they do. Think is very good at their gear reviews, and like their listicles for that stuff is excellent. Like it's a class on how to do it.
Solid backgrounds, strong YouTuber emotion, and then the hero or product that they're talking about.
Yeah, their backgrounds don't typically get more complex than a gradient.
Yeah.
Now we don't want to slap this artistic license out of the creator,
right?
But it's like many channels where, irrespective of the quality of a thumbnail, like I will say objectively, the quality of these thumbnails is very, very high. But from a audience perspective, I'm having to decode a lot. Like for example, this one looks beautiful, but I can't tell you what this video is about even now. What's it about? Is it about filters? Or is it about camera filters? How does that relate to this car?
Right.
Maybe you'd have like a split image where you have a filter on or off would be better for me to discern it. It feels as if you wanted to get the car in there because that's like something super cool, but I'm losing the meaning of the video a little bit.
No, I agree. This is where I would excuse me. This is where I would have a little bit of experimentation between a thumbnail of just the product and then whatever artistic idea you have for this thumbnail. Have both made. And if you notice that it's underperforming, not doing very well, or whatever it might be, try the other thumbnail and see if that works. Even if it's opposite of what you artistically are inclined to do, think of it on a basis of what's actually going to get clicked. So think about that way. And that's how I'll do it. Like, it's about, I think the best way people put it to me was killing your darlings. Like I had an idea of the way I wanted my thumbnails to look, but the audience and what they're willing to click on, that's a completely different thing. So I had to find a balance between those two to figure out what works that I'm able to make because I suck at making thumbnails, and what people actually want to click on. And once I kind of find that balance, it works. But this is also why I like making multiple thumbnails for every single video. And that way you can try what works and what doesn't.
I would say in most cases, each thumbnail has just 1 or 2 extra elements that could be removed. I think looking at this video, thumbnail, super clean, nice. It's a camera, it has a 4 on it. I think that's really effective. Whereas this one, I've got to read this slightly difficult to read text. And then you're pointing at a puffin, but it's kind of like a split view. And then there's a vlog episode in there as well. So we're already at like 4 or 5 elements.
I'm sorry, what is that?
A puffin.
Yeah.
I thought that was a penguin.
No. Puffin.
Oh, what a man. What do I
Puffins have like snacks. There's like puffin snacks or whatever.
Yeah, they're called penguins in the UK, chocolate penguins. Holler if you understand what I'm talking about.
Nice.
So yeah, I think what we're trying to say here is that brilliant thumbnails, but make them half as complicated. That's where I would be coming from here. And then topic-wise, are we a little unsure if this channel is a drone channel or a lens channel or a wedding photography portfolio channel? Because I've seen these a couple of times in their thumbnails.
Yeah, it's a little unclear. I think there's a place for drones to be on channels that talk about lenses and different types of handheld cameras too.
Sure. Yeah.
But I just there's a lot of topic jumping, and so it could be the case where they create a pretty decent searchable catalog of videos, but in terms of attracting returning viewers, they might struggle because upload after upload, we're pivoting topics to their regular viewers. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Okie dokie, let's move on to the next channel, and that is gonna be the Data Digest.
But also, before we get there, people are recognizing the chocolate penguins in the chat.
Nice, brilliant.
Yeah.
What about this? Has anybody heard of a Tim Tam?
I have heard of it. I don't know what it is.
So Tim Tam is like the Australian version of a penguin, and they are like uber rich chocolate. They are absolutely delicious. And there's this thing whereby you I think they're designed in a way that you can put it in your coffee or your tea, and you can suck the tea through the chocolate and then get an unusual taste.
Oh,
So Google it. Tim Tam.
nice.
The Data Digest. All right, I'm going to go back to bringing up some more channels in the list. So Dan, Travis, Jeff, take it away.
The Data Digest, is this the one we're doing now?
Yeah.
So how to digest data, is that what we're looking at? This is like those channels where they were growing. What were those ones with the pie charts or whatever?
I don't think it's like that. I think they're trying to teach you how to visualize data.
Yeah, I thought it was a visual data visualization channel. Yeah, but it's a little different, isn't it?
Wait, from which leagues do the players that
This
you're
is too
away?
smart content for me. This is 6,000 IQ. I can't watch 6,000 IQ. Content. Headache.
This is big brain stuff, right, Travis? Is what you mean?
It's super big brain. I don't have big brain today. Big brain, not today.
Well, if you are somebody who works with data, but you're new to it, let's see, channel dedicated data analysis with the R programming language. Okay. This is very specific, but like you are solving a problem for people, right? Like you're trying to help people understand how to visualize data. So I guess what's bothering me is that if I were trying to help people understand how to visualize data, I'd want my thumbnails to be a little more visually appealing. And there's just so much going on in a lot of these. I know some videos do have like over 1,000 views. Like some of these have worked, but like I don't know. Now I'm curious to look at other videos like in this niche to see, are they all like this or?
Yeah. And I like the fact that they're going after how to. Like that's something that's really slick for what they're doing, because this is evergreen, especially if the techniques that are being used to create these visualizations don't change too much over time. Then you can really set up a good like base content structure, content schedule. Yeah.
That is complex stuff.
Yeah.
It's
chapterizing everything. I like it.
It's basically a programming channel, but it's very specifically about visualizing data.
Yeah, so I think what we're used to is, I need to think of a channel that does all of
Ooh.
this type of stuff. We've seen it in the past like 2 or 3 years where they have those graphs that are kind of chasing each other, and they have like the top subscribers over the last
Oh.
decade.
Mhm.
That I think is something a little different. You use a
Yeah.
program called Flourish, and it's very user friendly. You just need like a database of numbers, like a CSV, and you almost import that. This is a little different. This is something next level.
Yeah.
So there is going to be an accessibility challenge. I almost feel as if this might be for an undergraduate or a professional data analyst rather than a data enthusiast.
Yeah.
They do explain this as our language is for data analysis, statistics, and charts, and it is free and easy to use. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I guess the question is, what are the types of videos for in this particular niche that are doing particularly well?
I would argue that this is not easy to use.
Yeah, easy
I would be honest. I would be
someone's
honest
standards.
Yeah, it depends on everything's relative when it comes to that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I would want to know what in this niche is popping off, and then use that to figure out my topic strategy.
Oh, for sure. Especially like this seems like education. And whenever I talk to channels that are about education, I always tell them start at the bottom, right? What's going to be in any education? What's going to be the biggest viewer base? The beginner. The beginner is going to be the biggest viewer base. So it's like basically like if you try to make your channel only about expert, like I'm only aiming for experts. How many experts are coming to YouTube to get? It's going to be a very small number. So that's where I would kind of start looking at, okay, where can I start at the beginning for some of these people? And this is stuff that you can do year after year, especially if there are updates around this program.
So like they're saying in chat, one line of code for the correlation charts. So to you, that sounds really simple, but where like Travis and I, for example, are struggling with is like, how do you even write the one line of code and why do I even need it? Like, but seriously, that's the beginner level. Like,
no, really is. Mm-hmm.
Like, so for you, like you're so seeped in this like all the time that you're up here and you don't even realize it. You know, you gotta, I still think there's a place for that content on your channel, but like what Jeff is saying, you got to start at the very, 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 very beginning. Like try to remember back before you were educated on this at all. What was the first thing you needed to know? You know, and usually that's a problem, right? Like I mentioned earlier about like, I want to make a game. So I don't even know how to program. So like the first thing I need to know is what's the best programming language to do the thing I'm trying to do. Yeah. And that's kind of where you have to start.
Yeah. Like
this is what I'm
even feels listicle. Oh yeah. That's
what I'm used to in terms of you just use a program, you stick some numbers in it, and it does all of this for you. Whereas I sense, I could be wrong, just from the thumbnails themselves, there's a lot more involved in putting these together.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this stuff is like excellent, like the way it's being done, and it's very, very targeted at a very specific audience, which I like to see as well. And it could become a utility channel or even like a library type channel for people who want this, like a repository of knowledge for them. But I would start thinking about this in that sense. Of course, this is assuming that they haven't already done this. Maybe they have done a step by step, like a playlist kind of a thing where they've gone through, here's what you do at the very beginning, here's your next step, here's your third step, here's your fourth step. But stuff like that can really work well, at least to make it accessible for audiences who may not be that familiar with this, who may want to learn how to do this, but have no idea. Like, let's say somebody told me, like, I got a new job and they're like, hey, we need you to do this. I have no idea. So I'd be looking at YouTube trying to figure out, okay, how do I get started? What's the program I need? What are the 5 steps? Are there is there a top 5 tips to get started with R? Like anything like that. That's what I would be looking for. So that's the advice I'm trying to give you is try to address a problem that's the biggest problem for the beginners.
Mm-hmm. And maybe they are too. That's the other thing. We're just not getting it from the title and the thumbnail.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
Yeah. Cool, man. Oh yeah, no worries. It says thank you.
All right, that is the Data Digest. Moving on to the next channel, which I have in a list. It is Bruce Lee Edits. I assume that these are going to be very quick edits, lots of jump cuts, all sorts of action.
There's creators for peace 3 days ago.
And yeah, thanks for taking part in the Creators for Peace content. Thank you for making that on time. We really do appreciate you joining us. So, is this actually? Because I kind of thought Bruce Lee edits was like a style of editing, but it's actually editing Bruce Lee's films, I assume, from the thumbnails.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
The bold strategy.
That's right.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, listen, I love Bruce Lee. It's amazing, and he's kind of doing a bunch of little clips here and there. And then I don't know, like, to what degree what he's doing with him. If is he? It'd be interesting to create a new movie based off of just a bunch of edits. Like,
yeah,
like that would be interesting. But I'm not sure what he's doing. Let's see what he's doing here.
I guess there's going to be one obvious question here in terms of how transformative it is. Yeah. I think there was just some music overlaid.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah. Song. I would try, like I said, I would try something interesting. Like, be real interesting. Make a new movie based on edits from other movies. Like, where else could you see that? You know?
You know what it reminds me of is, like, when you say that, I think of this channel and what you just said and combine it. Like, what about Bully Maguire? You know how that whole, like, people edit Tobey Maguire into certain situations.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if you could do a similar thing with Bruce Lee. You know, I like the idea of a whole movie, but yeah, I'm thinking like all kinds of situations. You want to take the Bruce Lee content and combine it with more modern trending topics.
Embracing meme culture, but perhaps not being as so. I can't think of a better word other than lowbrow. It's just like quick, easy, accessible, fun stuff. Whereas this creator maybe wants to be a bit more upmarket than that. Where am I going with it? I feel as if I'm just criticizing people for enjoying memes now.
Yeah, I mean, I just try more. I love Bruce Lee, and people love Bruce Lee, and most people know his name and stuff. So do something so unusual that literally you can't see it anywhere else. And I don't mean just put music over it or anything like that. Maybe he's doing that with some of the stuff, but like, go to the next level. Like, think outside of the box. Like, edit him into a movie and edit some of his scenes into the Matrix. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, do something like, what if Bruce Lee was in the Matrix? And I swear to God, if that's on YouTube, it's got 1 million views.
That's where I was going with that. Like, if you adopted that title and then just added it to the Matrix, Batman, the Avengers Endgame, and so on and so forth.
Ooh, I like it. I like it, especially going after something that would be trending. You know,
they've done it with Batman, but with the Batman from the 1960s. It's like, oh yeah, good idea, but maybe it should have been one of Nolan's Batman trilogy, or taking some clips from the Batman that's just been released. Like, almost right. You're almost there, but you've gone for the 1960s campy version, which I'm not sure if today's YouTube audience is going to be familiar with.
And the thing is, like, will this work for sure? I don't know, but it's interesting and it's intriguing just to think about. So give it a go. But don't just do it once and then if it doesn't do well, give up on it. You got to do it a couple times and you got to wait a little bit. But yeah,
healthy view counts on the channel as well. You know, you're approaching 1,000 subscribers, but I think you're getting return viewers coming back to this stuff, which is awesome. And yeah, thanks for. I'm not sure if Bruce Lee in particular is for peace in one sense, but thanks for including them in your content. We appreciate that. Okay, where are we? So we're an hour in, and we're getting through the list. We'll keep working through it as quickly, but as educationally as we can. The next channel is Christian G. They have 30,000 subscribers, which is awesome.
Christian G. All right.
Yeah,
it's like a reaction channel.
Well, no, I was just saying they're a creator in Spanish, from what I can tell. Un loco en fuga. That means like a crazy person on the run. Some of the stuff I don't understand because there might be some like Spanish memes that I'm just not familiar with. So
wait, are you sure this is the right channel? Because Christian G in the chat says that's not him. I don't know if this is the same person or not.
All right, if it's the wrong channel, I do apologize. Let's.
Is that the person who?
I don't. The name I put in. Wait, the name I put in was not. I don't remember that last name though.
Have I copied the? Yeah, I've got it from 1109.
You're right.
Chris,
I mean,
Okay, all
Christian
right.
G.
If you got it,
So, which one of these people could it be?
it would be the blue and yellow background is
Yeah,
the
the
person.
third one.
Yeah,
You sure?
I might have copy and pasted their name wrong initially.
Shall I just leave it there, and if they say in the chat if that's the right channel or not, and then we've got it in the background. We won't forget it. But I'm pretty sure this third one. So that was
this one.
So this one, okay.
Yep.
So another
the
finance.
chances of there being two Christian G's in his chat seems a little low, but yeah. Right. Oh, okay. So
let's do it.
What is this?
Another investing channel. Looks to be on stocks in particular.
Stock upside, Netflix stock, Meta, buy the dip. Yeah, it's funny because aspects of it look very Bitcoinish. I deal with a lot of Bitcoin channels. It almost feels like it has a bit of that vibe to it. Not that it's wrong or anything, but that's just based on what I've seen. Stock buy right now. I don't know. Just think about shorts with like this sort of thing. It's interesting because I don't think shorts are necessarily great for stocks because by the time they hit the short shelf, a lot of the information you're giving is probably out of date.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
So I might dump that strategy. Depending on what you're teaching. If you're teaching general tips, then okay, fine. But shorts sometimes they take a day or two. And if you're giving like critical information, it's too late.
This one, for example, the upside of a semiconductor stock probably didn't get its short surge until 24 to 48 hours afterwards.
Yeah. I wonder, do you think they're being too specific? Like a lot of these videos, they cover like one stock. And I wonder if a better strategy is to help, again, for going back to beginners, to help people get in, like make big money with these 5 tech stocks, kind of start lumping things together and, maybe reach people who aren't searching for these very specific stocks.
Seems to be covering abroad. Well, those were from a year ago. Then.
Yeah.
But we've got Netflix here, a semiconductor stock, NCLH. I assume that's a different type of stock from the ones mentioned.
And what is a reopening stock? Like, again, back to beginners, like, could you be making some content explaining some of these concepts?
I'll tell you what I'm uncertain about here is what type of investor are we talking about here? A new to the market investor, somebody with a lot of funds to buy stocks, or like nickel and diming like opportunities. Who should be watching this in terms of an investor in stocks? And I'm not getting a strong vibe from that because I don't know. I'm not seeing like. I'm seeing occasionally like 160% undervalued, 111%. How can something be 160% undervalued? Wouldn't that mean it's a minus value?
I try not to think about numbers, to be honest.
Because you can have more than 100% in a positive, but you can't have more than 100% in a negative. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting into my own world of stocks here, which I know nothing about.
Interesting though. I like the experimentation that's also being done on the thumbnail style because there's a lot of different background colors. And
yeah, I prefer these ones when it was a solid background.
Yeah,
and then
even then, there was so many. Yeah.
Opinion comment company.
Yeah, that feels more accessible. I mean, it's all companies everyone's heard of. The thumbnails are a bit more eye-catching, and I know they're older videos, but some of them just have more views than some of the stuff you're putting out today. So I'd be kind of looking to see, is there? It feels like your videos got more advanced at some point.
Mm. Yeah, the titles are seem a bit technical, or a bit wordy. I'm wondering if there's a way to shorten them down a bit. Like for this one, could you not rephrase this? Is Netflix stock? Does Netflix stock suck, or is it rubbish? Or rather than undervalued Netflix price predictions, etc., etc.
Or should you buy Netflix stock? March 2022.
Yeah, that's another idea.
Will Netflix's price increase lower their stock value?
I feel as if each of us has only a very layman understanding of stocks, and we're trying to offer specific ideas. And he's probably Christian's probably pulling his hair out here. So I'm like, you don't understand what I'm trying to do, and I guess that's kind of the point, isn't it? That we're not fully understanding this channel's target audience.
Yeah, as long as you understand it. Like if you understand that maybe you feel like you've tried those more beginner examples and you like the results you're getting from going the next step, the little more advanced. If you're happy in doing that and you know exactly who your audience is, that's cool. We tend to encourage people to start at the basics to get as many new people to your channel as possible, because as Jeff said earlier beautifully, the biggest subset of people who would be interested are going to be the people who are beginners. And then you can kind of build on this as time goes on. But I think the beginners will cast a really nice wide net.
Next channel, World of HVAC. I think it's pretty obvious what this channel's about. They are focusing mostly on shorts with the occasional long form piece of content.
What's the about page? Because I think this is going to be really telling.
Yeah.
For awesome HVAC. Homeowners playlist dedicated to them for advice. How much advice can you get on your HVAC in less than a minute? I'm curious. I'm not asking that to be mean. I'm asking.
That's a good question.
Realistically,
my question is this channel for me who needs to buy a new one? Is it for people in the trade who need to understand exactly how they work and how to install them, or is it at a broader industry level? I don't know who the target audience is here, just from a snapshot of the channel. I think it's for HVAC professionals who install them.
It could be for people who are trying, to fix it themselves.
Indeed, yeah, that is the other aspect of that.
But if that's the case, are you going to do that from a short?
No.
So again, it comes down to who's your viewer and what are you trying to accomplish? I think a lot of people do shorts because they go, well, I get more views that way. But is that the right thing for your viewer? And I'll say this a million times. So when people ask me, how long should my video be? It's a pretty easy and hard question to answer, because it should be as long as it needs to be, but no longer. So I always give the example of, okay, if you were on YouTube and you wanted to learn how to boil an egg and you saw a video that was 2.5 minutes long and one that was 30 minutes long, which one are you going to watch? Probably going to watch the 2.5 minute one, because you're going to get everything you need out of it, right? However, if you were to see a video that's about how to deconstruct your car and one was 2 minutes and one was an hour, which one are you going to watch then? Which one's going to give you the details you need to actually do that? So it's different depending on the subject. And I just would wonder if this is entertainment for HVAC, cool, fine. Yeah. What I'm saying is irrelevant. Yeah. But if you're actually trying to teach people how to do things, I don't know if shorts is the right place. Even if your numbers go up, your view numbers go up, I don't know if that's really doing what you think it's doing.
In the chat, he said he stopped shorts because it wasn't the right direction for him.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, and these are well, all right. Well, that doesn't seem to be the answer from the last couple of weeks since they're all shorts, is it?
Yeah, I mean,
it's shorts a week ago.
It's up to 5 days ago, it looks like.
Yeah, 5 days ago is a standard content. Yeah, which is fine. That's fine. Yeah. So it's basically, if this is like the latest kind of transition, then no biggie. I would just say continue moving forward with that strategy in mind and see how it plays. But it's going to take, just like any other experimentation, it's going to take a few weeks to a few months of going in a certain direction to see if it starts getting any sort of traction. It could be quicker than that too, but definitely want to stay consistent going in that direction and creating the content that makes sense to the people that are looking for this type of content.
I wonder what the goal is here of a creator in terms of monetizing this channel, because you would assume that it has a fairly niche audience. If it is you're trying to appeal to HVAC professionals, in which case really start to think about how you take these viewers off of YouTube into like a mailing list or courses or however else you may want to help these people in a more directed way, but it is also a more profitable way for you in terms of product, service, and business that you might want to offer them. I'm just going to look at this video and see if there is anything in the calls to action. So you've got an Etsy store, but I feel as if there's probably more opportunities there for you to explore for taking these really engaged viewers off of YouTube, potentially. Let's move on to the next channel. And this channel is No Coast Outfitters Outdoors. New channel, 3 subscribers. They have 3 videos. So what can we take from a channel that's basically 3 days old at this point? Welcome to YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, watch our videos. It's hard to know so early on. And one of those is a short, so you almost want to just disqualify it. Why I started a YouTube channel for outdoor gear, I mean, that's fine, I guess. But you're not going to build on that. Let's see. Goals bring you in-depth reason why range of gear used in outdoor recreational industry.
Okay. Yeah, if they're going to be doing a lot of product reviews or things of that nature, then I would recommend starting at price points. So if you want to start inexpensive, start looking at what stuff works for outdoorsmen, for hikers, for backpackers, for campers under $50. What can they do under 50? What can they do under 100? What can they do under 150? Start thinking about those price points, because as you start making those individual videos, eventually you can start flipping those into listicles where you can say, hey, here's the top 5 things you need in your pack that are under $50. Here's the top 5 things you need under $100. And this is a great way where you can start kind of compiling these videos together. But really start thinking about those price points and think about who you want to aim at. Because even within outdoors, that's very broad. So there's going to be very specific things that are needed, although there's going to be some overlap. But different people need different things. So start thinking about it in that sense. But I would really just start at the price point level of, what's going to be the best thing under the best backpack under 50, the best backpack under 100. Okay, what's the best sleeping bag under 50? What's the best sleeping bag under 100? But just start kind of thinking of it in that sense.
And in terms of very quick research, what is the hero of the thumbnails? It's the product you're talking about. And very early days, first thumbnail, you're pointing at a brand name, but you're not you're not pointing at the product. And then you have text trying to tell you about the product rather than you could show rather than text explain. Yeah. So those would be your first thumbnail piece of advice. But I think Jeff summed it up there, like target different budgets for different audiences and see which one really sticks with your new views. And another subscriber and
product-based videos and product-based channels, you don't have to have yourself in the thumbnail. So just be cognizant of that. Like if you want to make it really easy for yourself, maybe you're not super familiar with like Photoshop or any of that stuff, take your phone, take a 16:9 picture of the actual product in good lighting, outdoors preferably, and use that as a thumbnail. It'll be super simple, because if this is the best backpack, that's what I want to see. If I'm searching for, hey, let me search up this backpack, whether it's by the name of the backpack or the best backpack under $50, I want to see the backpack in the thumbnail. That's just me. That's the mentality I put into it.
Okay, so I'm seeing, Jeff, you mentioned TNT Outdoors. I did have a problem with that channel because I didn't know which one of these it is. So if they can try and answer that question in the list, and we'll get back to that in a few moments when we maybe have an answer. In the meantime, let's look at A Dose of Dirt, just over 2,000 subscribers. And they look as if they are another outdoors channel, maybe not camping per se, although it looks as if they are. Whew, those are some busy thumbnails.
Mm-hmm. And I see TNT Outdoors' logo now, so I know I can recognize it now.
Which one is it of these then?
It's the 4th one.
Okay, we'll load it up, but we'll cover that one next. We'll look at this one first.
All right, so Dose of Dirt. Nice.
This is another product like based channel.
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah.
it's similar to the one we just reviewed, but a couple of years down the journey at this point.
Yeah.
But also, it also looks like they're actually using it too, though. They're not just doing the review, but they're actually showing you like, hey, here's me camping out in 30-degree snow. That's another niche on YouTube. Very obviously closely related because you can talk about gear in those videos as well. But there's a whole niche of winter camping in the snow, in a blizzard, in 30-degree weather. So there's that's a whole sub niche of channels. But it's kind of cool to see both kind of blended together in this way, because it would make sense that somebody who might be into that kind of content might also be into what kind of gear they would need for that.
Can you scroll up just a little bit again?
Yeah, Dom, sure.
I'm noticing the view counts are a bit spiky, but this one right here, 0-degree sleeping bags. When they put the prices on the sleeping bags, when they made the product the hero, they got a lot more views. And as you were scrolling down, there were more examples of this too, where they're holding up products and the 9,000 views, best budget sleeping pad round 2. Like, just like you guys were saying a moment ago about the other channel we were looking at, make the product the hero. When this creator does that, it pays off.
Yep.
They are doing a bit of thumbnail experimentation. They use these greens, yellows, and blues, which kind of stick out in their own way. Nothing wrong with that. But there's still, for me, a level of chaos or overburden on text. And we just did a search for backpacks and how relatively simple they are in terms of the elements. You may have the creator, you've definitely got the product, and then 1 or 2 pieces of text or numbers to give you a little more context of a product that they're being talked about.
100%.
Now, what I do worry about is sometimes when viewers get used to a certain style of thumbnail and you change it, your return viewers almost don't know when you publish a video. They'll instinctively click on it because, I see the yellow. I'm not really going to look at the thumbnail. I just know it's from Dirt of Devs because I see the yellow text. So you may see initially some weird view counts, but generally speaking, I'm sure we'll all agree on this, the thumbnails are just too busy and they need to tell you something, one thing rather than 4 different things along with a question and lots of X's.
Yeah.
It feels it's too much. It's an overproduced thumbnail.
Yeah, we tend to overthink some of this stuff sometimes. I was big on that. Now all I think about is how can I make this simpler? How can I make this simpler? Like that's literally that goes down to how I make my videos. How can I make it simpler? So it's because less confusion. I'm thinking of like I'm trying to make my thumbnails at like a 3rd grade level, like where it's going to be if somebody's confused by my thumbnail, then I really messed up. So that's really what it comes down to. So I totally agree. Like any of this stuff, like the which is best with the 4 things, I would have just had the 4 things and then which is best. Like it would have been way, way simpler. Think of your text in your thumbnails. Can you say this in 3 words? Can you say this in 3 words or less? Can you say this in 5 words or less? Let me make it a little bit easier for you. Can you do this in 5 words or less? It has to pass that filter. 5 words or less. And if it's too long, if you have to add more stuff, nope, leave it out. Just simplify it.
All right. I am very aware of the time here, and we've still got so many channels. So I'm going to try and limit our audits to 2 minutes per channel to try and get more in. So I think TNT Outdoors, we're going to come back to this one only because we've just done like 2 outdoor channels in a row. And I would like a little bit of variety. But don't worry, TNT, we are coming back to our channel. Let's go with Midlife with Sweet Tea. I'm starting my timer at 2 minutes. Go.
Sweet tea. All right, FluteSlime, what is this? I love this midlife. I love that it's midlife stuff. Is it midlife crisis? Trading in my gas car to get an electric one. Okay, bathroom cleaning. Fly Lady Zone. That sounds familiar. Fly Lady sounds very familiar to me. Digital planning. I think I know the original Fly Lady. So it's a lot of cleaning and kind of like things you're doing in your midlife, maybe. Plan with me, that sort of stuff. Yeah, cleaning stuff. Okay, cool. So a cleaning kind of like, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
We've seen those channels.
Yep. No, we've definitely that's like another niche, and I've seen a few of them actually work with a couple of them early last year. But yeah, it's there's a lot of clean with me and a lot of different techniques and a lot of different things like that. So I would for sure be looking at what is really working thumbnail wise for that niche for sure. But I like some of the simplicity here, like the morning routine, and it looks like maybe they're just tying their shoes, maybe. I'm thinking that's what that's kind of pointing me towards.
Yeah, I mean, I would just look at all the things that make sense for someone who would enjoy this. Like, what are the top cleaning agents? What are the things that, what's the cheapest way to clean a house? What's the fastest way? You know, is there things that you can buy that will help your cleaning go better, faster, more efficient?
Okay. Says she says pivoting from midlife to cleaning. That's great. Yeah, that's not a problem at all. Whatever you can do to problem solve. So that's one of the biggest things that we want to do. And where you can take advantage of that is especially on a clean with me, like, hey, you know, how to clean your oven the best way, how to clean your, you know, stovetop the best way. If you have tile as your floors in the kitchen, or if you have hardwood, whatever it might be, you know, whatever those techniques might be, then you can show people how to do that. Trust me when I say that there is so much stuff that a lot of people just don't know, myself included, that I come to YouTube for to find out, oh, that's how you do that. Like it's that easy. So that's the kind of stuff. Like I found a video the other day on how to repair the drain hose on my washing machine, and it was a 6-minute video, and I learned how to do it just like that.
All right, that's Midlife with Sweet Tea. I do apologize if we do have to cut these a little short, just trying to get in as many as we can. Thank you for all of the donations. We've got a Minecraft channel at last.
Hey.
Sky Boy. All right, Dan, take it away. You got 2 minutes.
All right, so interesting. I'm seeing a lot of, I don't want to say meme content. I'm seeing this trend in Minecraft right now where, and rightly so, people are taking the game and just trying to do silly and interesting things with it, which is already what I'm seeing you do. The only, maybe not the only, but the biggest thing I'm noticing right out of the gate is the lack of content. I think channels like this are moving a lot faster. So while I think you're doing really interesting videos, I think you could be seeing a lot more success if you were able to upload more often. So I guess it becomes a question of, is something in just your life preventing that from happening, or is it maybe ideas? Maybe because it's hard to think of new ideas to kind of tackle. The real reason Dream quit Minecraft from a month ago is like the most popular video. Fat Hero Brian animations. So the other thing I'm going to say about some of the ideas is Herobrine, for example, a bit of a deep cut? Like, I know what that is, but I would say of all the different things about Minecraft, that character is not as like trendy as, say, the Creeper. You know, just one that is more recognizable. It's more of a deep cut. So these are like the types of things to be asking myself, like, how accessible are these videos for the average Minecraft fan? This server has a Call of Duty in Minecraft, and it just says gun server. It's kind of, it doesn't look like Call of Duty. I'm not seeing a gun in the thumbnail. So there's just a few things. I guess not every video, but a lot of these videos, there's a disconnect in the title and the thumbnail at times. So that's those are the couple things I'll be looking at. Upload schedule, so more frequent uploads, appealing to as much of the Minecraft audience as possible in terms of what they're going to recognize, and then making sure your titles and your thumbnails are kind of married together. They tell a bit of a story, or they both kind of make sense together.
All right, then. Thank you, Dan. That was Sky Boy. All right, TNT Outdoors, your time is here. Your time is now. Travis, kick us off for this one.
Okay. So what does TNT Outdoors mean? Hog bump. So he's actually blowing stuff up? No. Maybe? I don't know what this channel's about. Is it reviews of, see, there's like a turkey that's outside, but then there's like,
is it a hunting channel?
Strangers purple street lights on my own. So what's the point of this channel? Dynamic content targeted on the outdoor life, including product reviews, product testing, head-to-head product comparisons, and competitions conducted in the field. Is that what we are seeing on the actual channel? Okay, so the trail camera stakeout, sure. Trail chemistry. What happens when you leave a? Here's another thing about the titles. Like Jeff already said. I mean, once you get to the truncated part, you can forget about anything you typed after that, because the chances of someone seeing that is pretty slim. Your titles are too long. There's your first thing. Secondarily, does it work? The hog bomb. That's pretty cool. The thumbnail is a little bit clunky, but at least it's asking a question. Like, does the hog bomb work? I get it. Makes sense. I saw strange purple streetlights on my own, and again, truncated. And I don't know that I care enough to find out what this is about. Cheap night vision. Okay, there you go. And okay, that does it work? That's okay. Good thumbnail title there. No wonder it got good views. Cheap sledding. Enjoying this. Okay. If I don't know who you are and I don't live near where you are, I probably don't care about that. Deer and hog attractant. Okay, something I'm interested in. That's a little product review. That's cool. DIY feeder. Okay, maybe if I feel like doing it myself. Channel trailer, and then of course the night vision again. So night vision reviews. So that makes sense. So some of these probably not worth your time. Some of these doing really well because they make sense because of what you said in your about page. The ones that aren't in your about page, chuck them.
Yep, 100%.
Sorry, did you have something to add there, Jeff?
Oh, I would say if anything, because I was reading a chat where it was saying that he was kind of having trouble getting out there due to anxiety and things of that nature. What I would do is I would simplify your process right now and simplify your strategy. Go after the product reviews. Just go after them straight up. Don't try to do anything too crazy with it, and just get those out there. Get 20 of those, 30, 40, 50 of those videos out there, because that's going to streamline your process. That's basically doing reps as a YouTuber. And get that out there. That'll definitely help you with that anxiety. I'm somebody who has anxiety myself. I went through the same thing that you are going through right now, and just getting those product reviews out there. Don't worry about any of this other stuff. Just straight up, is this product work? Is this product better than this product? Versus videos. Just focus on that to really get the mechanics down, and then from there start branching out.
Very small sample size, but night vision technology reviews, that seems to be your game so far. So definitely return to that product. Not all of the time, but as like your foundation piece of content
100%
on the channel. And some healthy numbers, 40 subscribers, 10 videos. Some videos are getting triple digits already. So there's certainly some encouragement there for the channel as well. All right. We got a donation here from Learning and Technology with Frank. It was like $50. I think we've audited this channel before. And is this one of our group coaching?
One of our group coaching guys, yeah.
All right. Well, 2 minutes. I'm sure we've
You
already
two do it since we do it on the group. We do group coaching already. We've already kind of done, and you two do it.
So I think it looks as if they're taking our advice in terms of maybe simplifying the thumbnails a bit. And I like that I'm kind of getting this Apple vibe from some of the thumbnails at the top here. It doesn't, your hair color kind of doesn't help there a little bit. Although you put in a drop shadow to try and separate yourself from the background. But I am getting an Apple vibe, even though I'm not sure all of these videos are about Apple. How to create a Windows server. So tutorials very much on fairly technical stuff for viewers. Again, I may ask the question, should you be using exactly the same bland YouTuber pose where you're just looking at the camera and smiling? Maybe there could be a bit more emotion and thought put into that there. What about you, Dan?
I definitely noticed that because I think they're just taking the same one image and making that just the template image for every single thumbnail, just their face. And I think that what might cause regular viewers to do is look and see, oh, I saw this one already, because the thumbnails are like so templated. So just something to think about. It looks like they're trying to go for some search-driven content, so that matters a little bit less because people are going to be finding these from a different area of YouTube. Don't buy a new computer, create a virtual machine. You know why I like that?
I like that.
It's because it goes after a very specific need for somebody. It's like I'm thinking building a new computer, and then you're saying, no, don't do that. You can do this instead. Whereas the more recent videos, I don't think this is wrong, but the more recent videos are like more how to set up a virtual machine.
You know what it is? You know what that is, though, and you can do this more often. It's challenging a well-held thought, which is a viral ingredient to virality. Is challenging something that's well held, like, let me buy a new computer because it doesn't work, and saying, no, don't do that. Do this other thing. He could literally do that for almost all of this.
Right. You could. I think it should be both things. I think that Frank could remake that video, because it was a little bit old now.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
think you could get this library of searchable videos going, and then when you kind of have that set, then you go to you pivot to the other strategy for a while again. Like now we're talking more about problems, and the information you have solves those problems. It's less searchable, more like emotional kind of pull.
There's something about the thumbnails that I just don't think supports the production value of the videos. Like the moment you go into a video, I think that production value is really high in terms of the lighting and the camera quality and so on. And the thumbnail, there's something not right. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just too much white, or that drop shadow on the creator themselves just doesn't quite work. I feel as if some more tweaking is needed from and it looks like you've gone through many different iterations to get this right, but there's something about the thumbnails I'm still not a huge fan of. They're getting better. They're getting simpler, which is good. Anyway, I think that is time, so we'll move on to the next channel.
Thanks, Frank.
Yeah, thank you again for the donation. Really appreciate it. And it is DJ Faboloso this time. Okay, 25,000 subscribers.
Watching subscribers video. That's a stream. Fortnite.
I have no idea what this is about.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it random stuff?
A
A little bit of Fortnite video game.
Bit of Fortnite, a bit of, I would say, maybe pranks or skits, maybe.
Where were they at the peak? Because I mean, 24,000 subscribers, approaching 25, like that's awesome. Like what's see what's popular?
Ireland boys. Ireland boy. Oh my god. I want to just
So
have you ever seen that?
reactions?
An Ireland boy. Oh my god, I'm not gonna, never mind.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You don't want to know. It's one of those things you can't unsee around here.
You're better off, Rob.
Really better off.
You're better off.
Ignorance is bliss.
It's amazing how little I understand about YouTube. really. I don't think I'm in touch with any of the memes or vibes or
Same.
anything.
It's all right, man. Just hashtag boomer. That's all we can do, man. That's all we can do.
Okay, so this channel, I feel as if they're jumping on trends and popular creators or influencers in the social media space, and then maybe possibly their own pranks and music videos to some extent. But what they were doing then, it's not necessarily working as much now.
Yeah, I think they've kind of pivoted now to, I just want to play some games and things like that. So they're playing Fortnite with their viewers and things like that, which is definitely a different channel. I worry that you have older videos that are pulling in people today, and then those folks are getting turned off by what you're doing now because it's completely different than what they subscribed for.
1,000 views a day right now that they're bringing in.
That's a tough pivot, man. Some people we don't know what we don't know. And we think, oh, well, all these people signed up for me. They'll just go on this journey with me. And that is not necessarily the case. So this might have been, when you do a pivot that's kind of that hard, that's a second channel. That's me starting a second channel, whether it's trying to pivot this one and going through that process of time of trying to get that pivoted, or just starting up a second one for the gaming specifically and let that one run. But yeah, this pivot is very, very tough. So
yeah, I think you start a Fortnite channel or just streaming channel, whatever you want to call it. Keep this one going for the occasional reaction or whatever it was you're doing before. Like you can always come back to it. Don't do an announcement and saying I'm pivoting the channel or blah blah blah. You can do an announcement saying I have this new channel, check it out. And I would fork. I would do 2 channels.
Hey, pretty pictures.
Still getting in an amazing amount of donations. I will be honest right now. If you made a donation in the last, I'd say 10 minutes, we may not get to your channel. I apologize profusely for that. But just remember that your donation is going to an excellent cause. But we're going to try and smash through as many channels as we can.
Probably maybe change the banner up.
Yeah, I mean, I guess by all means continue to donate, but I'm going to say from now on, we're not going to be able to guarantee you a channel audit.
Yeah, it's just not enough time.
This isn't essentially a pay for a channel audit. This is encouraging you to donate, and because you donated, we're going to try and audit your channel. So let me just emphasize that. But we've got some channels, so let's go through them. Perry Pictures. All right.
I
Go.
like great
Anyone.
pictures because remember she made pictures of all of us.
Mhm.
She's awesome. Subscribe to her channel because she's awesome.
Yeah, she's super close to 1,000, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, really. Listen, I love Bob's Burgers. She has a video talking about Bob's Burgers' new character. I'm gonna go watch that immediately. I don't know what that's about, but I need to watch it. She looks fabulous in these live stream thumbnails. Look at this, like a movie star. What is that all about? The draw live. That's pretty cool.
And you got to give respect too, because she's not using the exact same thumbnail for every live stream.
Exactly.
So there's
I
no
love that.
thumbnail wallpaper there. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So yeah, got to give respect to that. But I like where they're going because it looks like they're also aiming for what would be trending in doing the drawings about it or doing animation around that. So that makes a lot of sense too.
Do you think live streams in combination with the shorter videos is going to help or hinder the channel? I personally am just getting thrown by the live streams, just by the thumbnails. Like, what am I going to get in this? Are you drawing something, or am I having a Q&A with you?
I think in the end of the day, like at the end of the live stream, whatever the picture was you drew should probably be the thumbnail for it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. It's either that or they could do kind of like what I'm doing and decide what they're going to do beforehand and then title it and thumbnail it accordingly to that and give it some sort of replay value after the fact. And then make sure you go in and timestamp your live stream for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Especially for people if they're going to learn anything. I know that you're an artist and mainly you're just showing your art, but if someone wanted to like learn how to do some of this stuff, timestamps are going to be completely important.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah,
then
stuff.
So is everything like a tutorial? Because I look at this one and I think, is this going to be like a little bit of a conversation about this new character? Whereas this one is a purely tutorial. So opinion piece, tutorial. Again, I'm just questioning the format of some of these videos. It seems like mostly education. But then if you had to pick a Lord of the Rings character for Christmas, there's something a little different there in terms of its delivery.
Yeah, she does some. I'm looking at one that's some coloring, so that's not even really drawing. That's coloring, so it's a little bit different, kind of different things. Yeah, it's hard for me to understand like who's specific. So I feel like she's doing different types of art, so different people would enjoy it. But then getting momentum behind that, it's very difficult.
If you were going to teach somebody from absolute beginner to a proficient level in some form of art, who exactly would that person be? You're saying you draw comics during live streams based on chat's narrative. So are you would you want to appeal to the comic artist? The beginner comic artist would be my question. I feel as if I'm not entirely sure on the specific target audience here, which may make going from one video to the next a little potentially inaccessible to a new viewer to the channel. But I could be misinterpreting the channel.
Well, while the live stream thumbnails look good, I'm not seeing the connection with the other content. And I know that the suggestion is change it after the fact, but I'd say take something a little more generic from the previous live stream and make that the thumbnail, so that while you're live, it still looks like, you know, the same kind of video.
Rolling with the Robsons. I think this is a Van Family Life channel. Just from the channel banner and the thumbnails, they seem very clear. I get an idea what I'm getting into. See, as Dan says, if the less you think, the more accessible the content is. And I'm not having to think at all about what I'm getting into here. So excellent thumbnails, excellent, I'd say overall branding on this channel, really effective for me to understand what I would be watching.
Yeah, I agree. I like the strategy that they're going for here. It looks like they've been paying attention either to their own niche, not saying if they're paying attention to us or not on this stuff, but at the very least, looking at what's working and sort of simplifying things, because we're not getting lost in the messaging. And I like that. The packaging looks good. So it's just going to be about how they hold my attention, how entertaining they are, how engaging they are. Whether these topics are things that people want to come back for. If it's kind of like a series, what's going to happen next? I got to see the next episode. But overall, like I kind of like where this is going.
Yeah, I mean, what advice could we give them really, other than like you're getting very healthy numbers for your subscriber size. I'm wondering if you do want to maybe spend a little bit of extra time on what you think might be a real breakout video. If you've had a big idea for a while, maybe it's now a time to try and attempt that, to have this flagship viral moment where you reach a much bigger audience with a video that you put a lot more effort into in some way. And I don't know what that would be, whether it's a really crazy challenge or like the complete beginner's guide to how 5 people live in a caravan, something along those lines, maybe.
Yeah, I'd be interested in that because I can't stand people. So,
And I'm wondering where that is in Yorkshire, because I'm from Yorkshire, and I must be in North Yorkshire somewhere.
I thought you were Canadian, Rob. What do you mean?
I am not a Canadian because I still can't get my citizenship. That's a story for another day.
Gotcha.
FluteSlime. All right. I think we've maybe audited this channel recently. These colors and thumbnails seem very familiar. Good.
We did.
Audience size. Very healthy views per hour on some of these videos as well.
It's making me hungry, man. I know it's just art. It's like art and glitter, man. But it's like, it reminds me of, what do they call it? Icing for cakes.
Here's an interesting a point where you may look at these thumbnails and say these are far too busy, but I've heard this phrase used before, and I think it can be really effective. It's called organized chaos, where you don't necessarily need to see every single individual item, but the part of a collective topic in the thumbnail. And I think this is really effective. And this one here, in terms of how it's positioned, like you have that. Dan talks about negative space, but I think it's really effective here, where you have this blank space in the middle, and then all of these things surrounding it. Is all of that slime going to end up in that bowl? Oh, that's interesting. I want to see what happens when I click on it. If I click on it, yeah. So that's what I want to see. Like, the intro should have some of this stuff in a bowl, or like teasing it. Is it going to show us what's in the bowl or stuff? All right. I think an all right.
So
intro.
They were asking in the chat, they want to know why their numbers dip so drastically. From a channel audit perspective, that would not really be too possible without looking deeper into analytics and things of that nature. But we're going to do the best we can on a surface level to try to help you. But that's a really big question to ask for something like this.
Yeah, it looks like they have had a very steep drop.
So the question we would ask is, was there any sort of copyright claims or community guideline claims? That would be one of the most transparent things to ask you about.
But real quick, go down to like the 48,000 one 3 weeks ago and just click into it real quick. The glossy slime, and then scroll down a little bit. 23 comments. That's what I thought. This is being shared somewhere else outside of YouTube. Something like that.
Traffic. Yeah.
Yeah,
could be
that's
external or can be embedded.
By the way, I was talking to a friend of mine, Jeff knows this, who I think saw a drastic dip in no, actually it wasn't. Jeff doesn't know about this. Saw a drastic dip in views, but when we looked into it, it was because it was external views, which they were normally getting. You don't really have any control over that. You either get them or you don't. And that could be it. So if that channel, for whatever reason, was getting a bunch of external views, which you'll want to look in your traffic sources, that could be why.
Yeah, the other one that I've seen for an instance like this is if there is a channel similar enough, with content similar enough, and thumbnails similar enough, or somebody with a larger audience that's drawing much more attention, that could be what's happening. I've seen, even on my own channel, I've seen traffic die when a larger channel posts a video about the same topic. Like I'll have a video that's doing really well. It's climbing up there. It's about to hit 10,000 views. And then like a 1 million subscriber channel drops a video, and then my traffic is just dead.
Yep.
And it happens. It happens. You know what I mean? So that's something that we have to be familiar with. But just on a surface level, we're just trying to give you some scenarios of what could be happening. But it's kind of tough to say and answer that question in a channel audit format.
The channel had a phenomenal start as well, to start a channel a month ago and have thousands of views to kick it off. Like, some channels don't reach this in the first 2 or 3 years. So you were on a launch pad. You were sent into the stratosphere. So maybe there is a bit of leveling off here. Or maybe this, I wouldn't be surprised if this is like your second, third, fourth channel, as if you've done this before. So
I think they said that was a second channel.
Okay. Yeah. So that's a fantastic start for a second channel.
Yeah.
To get that much traction straight away.
Yeah. Sometimes sometimes without context, we tend to underestimate. I mean, 2,000 plus in a month. To put it into context, it took me 1 year and 70 videos to hit 1,000 subscribers. 12 months and 70 videos.
Very common.
It's we kind of have to like be thankful when we kind of get to that point. But I would say just keep going, man.
Joey Underwood. I think this is a sci-fi video essay channel, just as first impressions. Fantastic thumbnails for a channel that has only produced less than 10 videos in 2 months, and some positive views already on some of your videos.
Joey Underwood sounds like a famous name. Why is this not famous? Okay, this is what the 60th anniversary would look like, ranking every series of Doctor Who. So are these all sci-fi? Looks like it mostly.
Yeah, I'd say it's 50% Doctor Who and then 50%, and it's all Doctor Who actually, except for the one about Boba Fett.
Yeah,
so when we move to another topic, completely tanked.
So, you know what's interesting? So, is this what the 60th anniversary will look like? Is a little more timeless because we're not quite there yet, right? Like, there's a lot of hype to still be had about the 60th anniversary episode. However, the Boba Fett stuff has kind of come and gone. Are these doctors actually canon? Like, that would have been more relevant when we were within a season of Doctor Who. So I would be, if I were this channel and they've just kind of started, I'd be thinking about more hype content, because when they were hyping up the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who, that was like, ooh, you know, hey, like we have, like, I'm excited about that, but we have a while. When you're talking about stuff that just happened weeks and weeks ago, people are already on to the next thing. So I would be taking these sci-fi shows and different things and hyping up, you know, going into theories and things like that. And then while the episodes are going, I would be doing these breakdowns of what happened in episode 3 of, you know, Boba Fett. And I would go even deeper than that. I wouldn't just say what happened, like put your theory or tease your theory in the title or the thumbnail.
Yeah, for sure. And just to be fair, also, if you think about total views on this channel, that's one heck of a conversion ratio to subscribers.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, that's pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of subscribers, isn't it, for a channel that's only 2 months old? I'm wondering if they deleted a lot of content previously or something. So start the channel again. Lightning with no G. Minecraft channel, the second one, Dan. I'll give you a minute.
So they're doing some high pixel Bed Wars, things like that, but I've not seen Bed Wars thumbnails like this before. I think they've gone the other direction. They've kind of oversimplified their thumbnails, and they're not really speaking to me as somebody who knows what this mini game in Minecraft is. So, like the title, handsome Bed Wars montage. It's like a picture of a Minecraft character and it says the word handsome. There's nothing in there for like people to really latch on to. You know, I think I keep scrolling. You know, I get it's a montage because it says montage, but like, well, the montage of what? Like being handsome? Like it doesn't really say anything. So title and thumbnail strategy is where I would really be looking. And I would also be, you know, looking at other Bed Wars channels there, because there's whole channels based off this. You have a lot of competitions. What can you bring to the table that is new and exciting?
And committing to consistency a little bit. You took a break for whatever reason. You've been back on YouTube for consistently for 2 weeks, but I think, as Dan said earlier, when people start Minecraft channels, they're kind of committing to a pretty busy schedule in most cases, aren't they? Like 3 or 4 videos a week to keep up with the demand and the supply that's out there for such a popular game on YouTube. So that is Lightning, or maybe it's got a Q in there, so maybe it's Lick. I'm not even I ain't got time to try and pronounce that channel. I do apologize. Frank's Laboratory, nice channel banner, nearly 40,000 subscribers. And is this another coding channel? But programming channel. Gotta say,
oh wow,
love that thumbnail. That's a phenomenal thumbnail.
Really great views here.
Yeah, great thumbnails. This is an example of the first thing a viewer sees is the thumbnail and the title, which makes them super important. And Travis will love this. All of the titles, none of them are concatenated. Like you don't see the 3 dots.
Yay.
Everything's in there that you need to know from the title. So that's really awesome. Strong.
And even the logo of the programs are in the corner.
Look what they're doing. They're taking programming and they're saying, look at this cool thing you can do with it. And they try and link it to mainstream or draw with code, something everyone can understand. They're not getting super complex. They're not bogging down the title and the thumbnail with details about all the different things you're going to learn. And it's very simple, very straightforward, very approachable content.
Really good views too.
We have a breakthrough video here with 124,000 views. It's a shame that the momentum's died on that a little bit. So I think you did do one follow-up here with 10,000 views. Maybe that's the challenge you have. The complexity of the videos means that you can't just follow up on the series in the next couple of days. It takes a few weeks or months.
I like how that one ramped up too.
The consistency here is maybe one video a month, I would suggest at best. I'm wondering if there's an opportunity, because all of the videos are really super long. Do you think it's a risk to try and maybe repurpose some of his content into smaller tutorials? Like, can you take 3 segments of this 20-minute video and turn them into individual tutorials? It's a thought and an idea, and it's going to hit your audience a little bit more or reach new audiences. Any thoughts on that?
You could do that. I was thinking you were going to say shorts, though. I could see like draw with code being a short, whereby it's like a speed draw. So the whole thing comes together. Maybe in one box you have you coding, and then the other one you see the drawing kind of start coming to life. And it happens in like 15 seconds, where you go from nothing to cool, colorful spiral.
We've done one here, Dan, which didn't do too bad for shorts. You're thinking maybe that
more visual,
maybe 5 shorts. In between the next video release.
Less informative, more visual, just eye candy stuff. Kind of like their thumbnails.
Indeed. Super strong. The thumbnails are early. This is a good example of thumbnail evolution, where these ones, again, high production value, but just a little too busy. Too much emphasis on the text. But then when you get a cleaner look, more colorful, more vibrant, less text, far more clickable. So really impressive stuff there from Frank's laboratory. All right. The next channel is RayLice. VTubing, learning and vibing. They've got 5,000 subscribers. I'm still very new to VTubing.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to recommend here.
Pretty sure we saw this one before.
It's familiar.
Because I could swear I remembered a cat VTuber channel. Like, I don't know how many there are out there, but I could have swore we've seen this one before.
We definitely have.
Right? Like, I'm not losing my mind. Interesting.
Does VTubing naturally align itself with anime?
Ish.
Kinda.
Yeah, kind of. So it just depends on which way they decide to go. Some of them are all about the anime stuff, but I think if anything, a lot of them are interested in it inherently. But a lot of the ones that I've seen are either doing reactions on Twitch or like gaming. So one or the other. Although there is a VTuber news channel on YouTube, which I was kind of surprised I ran into a couple days ago. I was like, wow, really? So, but it's still cool. Like, it's a really cool idea. So
view counts are fairly strong. I'm assuming the topic is talking about different animes and whatnot. This Ninja Sanji Obisai Dai. I know I pronounced that terribly, but there we are. That's me. What do we think? Any general observations or advice here? Plenty of shorts.
Yeah.
But also big live streams as well.
Are they?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, are they bouncing between a lot of different shows? Because I'd be sticking with the ones that are, obviously getting the best views. I think they're reacting to shows.
So, specifically lore for VTubers characters. Interesting.
So when they did tutorials on how to do VTubing, very successful. Could you that's interesting that you're getting, according to our tool, 100 views per hour coming in on a 5-month-old tutorial. Or is it a tutorial?
I don't think so.
It is. I think it is. I think that's probably definitely worth revisiting as a topic.
Yeah.
Getting that many views.
But yeah, I mean, if they're going to be doing sort of the lore around that sort of stuff, then I would definitely have a nice long list of who the trending VTubers are right now. Like, which ones are the biggest ones, the hottest ones, the ones that have the most search around them, and then start trying to base some content around them to start driving traffic to your channel. Because there could be some that you might be familiar with and you're into, but just aren't that popular, which is fine. You can still showcase them. There's no problem with that. But the reason I'm talking about it is you want to find the ones that people are talking about. And you don't have to do this for every single video, but to start bringing them in at least once a month or something along those lines, so you can capture some of the traffic that already exists on YouTube.
With numbers like this, views at 400% and subscribers up 800% in the last month, search your traffic, your data, see which videos or video is bringing in all of that traffic, and make sure you can continue to serve that audience strongly in the next couple of videos. All right, I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm going into extra time here. We've had some really good donations, and I want to try and make sure I get through as many of these as I can. You're welcome to stay, or if you need to go, Travis, Dan, Jeff, thanks for your time. But we're 2 hours in, but there's still quite a few channels that I want to look at. So, what are you doing? Yeah, cool. Thank you. Wisdom for you, 1,000 subscribers. Is it a banana Fortnite channel, Dan?
It looks like it. I like the name.
It's a
I
great
think that's pretty good. Yeah.
Wisdom
Banana
for you.
Fortnite a thing?
I don't. Yeah. What I'm struggling with is like, what is it? You know, usually when we see channels like this, right, it's meme channel, I think the dank meme channel, as we used to say. But are these memes up to snuff, or are they memes? It's hard.
This banana character, is that their character that they're trying to turn into something popular within Fortnite?
It looks slightly familiar to me. I don't know if it's just they're inserting it into other things.
Silence suggests that we're struggling to grasp the intent of the creator here.
Did they mention anything in the about section about what they're about? Is that too much to...
Funny moments.
Okay. I mean, the lack of focus could be the issue, but if they continue going in on Fortnite, especially if it's something where there are trends around it, whether it's, you know, the latest update, the latest skins, whatever it might be, then that can definitely help with growth. But kind of being a doing whatever I want channel, I wouldn't expect too much from that. So I would just say continue to try to focus on this if possible.
They have been at this for a significant amount of time now, over a year, with these funny Fortnite moments with this banana character. I apologize if this is such an obvious character in the game, but I've never seen it before in any of our channels. But
they're saying it's from the game.
But ultimately it's not working with the audience. So I can see, like, in the last 3 or 4 videos, you've seemed to have pivoted quite a lot here and doing shorts and stuff.
Yeah, I would be trying to tie more and more significant either cultural references or people like streamers and stuff into your content. If you're going to be, I see, like, how much money does Chillin make, and that might be like a streamer or somebody like that. There's a short that did pretty well for you 11 days ago. Can you do more of that? Like, I think that's just going to be how you break through.
Next channel, Harrison Sawyer. You've just cracked 10,000 subscribers. I want to know: is this a player for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays? That's the vibe I get from the channel banner. But at least if it's just covering baseball stuff. Let's have a look at the about section. Okay, so they're a sports fan, and it's creating stadiums, showcases, maybe playing the video game a little bit. So looking at the thumbnails, this looks as if right now it's a channel that's focusing on the news and events of baseball. The problem inherent with this is that you are now almost competing against ESPN, and huge sports channels that are not only going to get this content first, but they're probably going to be able to cover it more effectively. I would start to think, when we've seen other sports fanatics covering their sport, they tend to focus on the team that they support specifically, and then they can get more into the storytelling and the emotional side of things. So that might be something to consider if you're unable to break into this the news topics for this type of content.
Yeah,
but the thumbnails are of a good standard, but
no, we saw some of them. Oh, sorry
to keep cutting you off, Jeff. I just want to say this is an example of the thumbnail is of a high quality and promises a lot, and then we immediately get into the video, and it's you just looking at a Twitter feed. And I would imagine that many people are going to switch off in the first few seconds because perhaps the thumbnail or the title promise something a little different to what they're seeing on screen. Perhaps, yeah. So go ahead, Jeff, if you had anything to add. Apologies.
Oh, no. I was just going to say that I agree. Even if you're going to talk about, whatever your favorite team might be, if the new stuff doesn't pop off, you can always talk about lore around the team, history of the team, things of that nature. That stuff can definitely help with, content strategy and content ideas. But obviously, at a certain point, start thinking about production value as well, because the thumbnails are over-promising. You know what I mean? So they look great. But you click into them and it's just it sets a high standard that we're not kind of seeing in the actual video.
And then a month ago, you were a very different channel in that you were covering stadiums within a video game. And also this might be a problem. That video right there, if that's still getting views and it's about Fortnite, Travis, you're the master at talking about how a viral video can really damage your channel. I mean, maybe in this case, the channel went viral as a Fortnite channel and then they decided to switch to baseball. But they maybe have to take a tough decision here about what these two videos are doing on their channel.
Yeah.
I'm curious, how many views per hour are these perhaps still getting? So they're still probably getting about 250 views per day. That could be influencing the rest of your content somewhat.
No, just see Liron in the chat. What's up, Liron?
Oh, is Travis gone? I was asking Travis a question. I didn't even realize he'd departed.
Yeah, he did. He had suddenly blinked out there. I don't know what happened.
Okay, I'm going to bring up the next channel, and we're looking at Decor Tours. Dan and Jeff, if you want to look at this one, I'm just going to try and figure out where I am in my list.
Sure.
Tours of professionally designed places to give you design ideas. New video every Saturday. Interesting. Okay, so are we getting some design ideas? Because it looks different. It looks like they're doing tours of different rooms, and the titling would suggest almost like a real estate channel. Like, oh, today we're going to tour a 5-bedroom, 5-bathroom home.
Yeah, I'm getting the same thing. I'm kind of getting the same vibe where I'm like looking at this property as opposed to looking at the decor of this property. By the way, it's titled.
Yeah,
it's kind of confusing.
If I was sharing design ideas, I would be sharing very specific things. Like let's say I'm not a designer, but let's say it's like an arrangement of stuff on a countertop, so the thumbnails I'm imagining are a lot more focused on like one element, and giving you very specific tips. But anyway, the view counts on a lot of these videos are
fantastic.
Yeah, really promising. So I'm just saying the value proposition isn't lining up with what I feel like these videos are actually doing.
Yeah, interesting. But I guess it'll give you ideas doing the tour. Maybe it'll give you some ideas as you're kind of walking through, like, oh, that's a good idea. That looks kind of good. So maybe that's what's going on there. But it's interesting because this more reminds me like sometimes like the thumbnails and stuff like that. And it reminds me of those channels that are doing tours, whether it's $1 million homes or whatever it is. It has that vibe for me.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious as to, let's have a look at the about section. So you appreciate the design of other people's houses. I'm just wondering if I look at is there any calls to action here? So they don't sell the house. I'm just curious how they get the footage. Because, like you say, you just assume it's a real estate agent, but it's not. It's somebody just touring houses and showing you how you might want to decor your own house.
Step one is to be on Facebook and look at people who are going on vacation. Then step two is to go to their house while they're on vacation, pick the lock, and then walk up to the house as if you had permission to take the tour, but you really don't. But then you get to tour this awesome house while they're gone.
Thanks, Dan. That was really useful.
Yeah.
The other question I would ask here is, you put the values in here for is that the price of the house, or is it the cost of furnishing it?
That's the fine for touring it without permission.
And I'm wondering, Dan's not helping me anymore. I'm putting him in timeout for a minute. Although he can just invite himself back into the live stream, so that's pretty pointless. I'm just wondering if you could put in a cost of how much it costs to furnish it. The decor. People are always fascinated in numbers and costs when it comes to property and this type of thing. You used it in the very early thumbnails, but then you decided to take them out. And I would be thinking about putting them back in here. Instead of come see inside, I feel that's a bit redundant. It would be more like $40,000 of furniture or something similar. Hey, Dan, you're back. Welcome to the live stream.
Yeah, I would wonder if people who are watching these videos have like a budget. You might, because you mentioned prices, like, are those, because they look very fancy, like are these designs for people who have a certain income, or can anybody achieve this level of you know what I mean?
Yeah, when I look at the thumbnails and like the 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom, 600 square feet, you're thinking that this might be a fairly affluent couples, or like a second purchase of a property, like not the first time buy, it's like the next stage kind of pricing bracket I'm seeing here for the type of people who maybe watch this content. All right, let's move on to the next channel. This Daters. I think I picked this channel right. This was one of the earlier ones, wasn't it, Dan? I seem to remember.
I think so.
In the list.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was what came up when I did the search. So 25,000 subscribers. Excellent. But the view counts don't reflect that. So I go to most popular. And I see that the most popular video has 1,000 views.
So either I would say deleted videos, maybe, because
look at the about section.
Oh, okay. Did you put this in the description especially for us to check out? That's an interesting way of doing it, isn't it?
Well played, Daters.
Well
played. He's in the chat, or here they are in the chat. Well played.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. So you were a different type of channel. Now you're a Minecraft channel, and so on reflection, given the view counts, oh no, hang on, those are the most popular. Hang on, we need to look at the newest. Okay, so the view counts are fairly consistent for your new channel size, whatever that is. Probably put you in a bracket of between 500 and 1,000 subscribers if those are the type of views you're getting. So that isn't too bad.
I was going to say it depends on what the old content was, though, because if it's you can remove that old content, but the people that subscribe for a certain type of content, and if it's completely different, then that could be why some of this stuff is underperforming.
Dan, what do you think in terms of their Minecraft content?
It's a rebuild for sure. The whole channel. I feel like they were doing some Minecraft content, and now they're testing totally like similar in terms of comedy, but totally different in terms of platform. Like they were going for Minecraft, now we're talking about Discord and things like that. So my advice here would be to start tying in more trending topics to your funny meme style videos. Upload more frequently if you can, because there's a lot of gaps here in your upload schedule, and a strategy like this is going to take some consistent uploading. And then shorts, you might be able to make a long 7-minute video, but you might be able to take 15 seconds of it, just a funny moment, and you might be able to start cycling those into your content as well, getting some shorts out there. But again, everything you do from here on out needs to be related. It needs to be for the same audience, whoever you feel like that audience is, because maybe it's not just Minecraft, but people who you're just using Minecraft to make memes or funny jokes or whatever it is, and that's cool. Like, now you have to always target that viewer.
Next channel is Bit Tech. This is your neck of the woods, Jeff.
Let's see here. What am I looking
Phone
at
reviews
here?
or test? Actually, what it looks like. Just I'm looking at the titles. These are charging tests.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, the wattage of a phone. That's interesting. And, Oh, I see. So they all like that? Oh, I'd be interested to know how you get somebody to watch 4 minutes of a phone trying to burn out the battery on a phone.
I mean, these videos tend to do well in that instance. It's just how early can you get them out, because you're up against people like Mr. Who's the Boss and like some of these other channels that are doing the same thing, and they're getting the phones ahead of you. So this is one of those things where, of course, you can always do it. Like, I don't see an issue with doing that, and they did fairly well. I'm not sure. I didn't catch their subscriber size, but I mean, got a couple thousand views, so still not bad. But I would start thinking of other angles on this stuff if possible. Because doing the basic comparison, the basic battery rundown test and stuff like that, there's literally 10,000 other tech channels doing the exact same thing. So what's going to make them want to click on yours versus the next person? Are you getting earlier than them, or are you going to do something different? That's really what I would start thinking about. The red background definitely makes them pop a little bit more, which is nice. Yeah. But that's really what it comes down to, is what am I going to get from you versus somebody else? Like, why should I click on this one? That's really what kind of comes to mind for me with tech channels. It's a lot of people tend to do the same thing, so I'm usually looking for the angle where somebody's bringing something different to it. That's why, like, day in the life stuff, or like real usage, like real life usage. So to let me know, hey, these are the apps I use. This is what my day looks like, and this is what my battery looks like at the end of that day. To me, that's far more valuable because it adds much more context than just running the battery down.
I don't know about you, but when I first started watching shorts, or shorts started first appearing, there was this one channel that was absolutely blowing up with shorts in terms of phone repairs. And I'm wondering if it was this one. I'm trying to find out. I just saw constantly these shorts about repair. Yeah, I'm sure it was this channel, because I remember that blue background. And they were just making shorts on how to repair stuff. So I don't know if it was necessarily tutorials, in the sense that, Travis was saying that if the tutorials, they don't necessarily work as shorts, but it's something that's intriguing, like opening up the inside of a phone and then doing a quick repair on it. It's kind of technologically satisfying in a certain way for tech viewers. I'm saying that because this channel has blown up doing shorts of repairs. And one of the things that this channel used to do, and has still done a little bit recently, is phone repairs, repairing glass. And I'm wondering if you want to experiment in turning these into some shorts, just taking the best clips from it and editing it really tightly for another avenue of content, on top of your charging stuff.
Like, not as a tutorial, but as a look at the process of
going
from broken
exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. All right. I'm going to keep going. Thank you, Jeff and Dan, for giving me time. I would say there's probably another 5 to 10 minutes left worth of channels to audit. Trendy DIY 29. So you've given us your website on your channel banner. Probably not going to go there. I'm going to be honest. I would prefer a value proposition of some reason rather than a place to exit YouTube in your channel banner. From the thumbnails, it looks like it's healthy eating.
Yeah, and I wouldn't know that from the banner. You know what I mean? It's like that's one thing that I would definitely say to if you're going to redo your banner. And I know not all of us are graphic artists. This is why I go on Fiverr. I paid somebody, you know, 10-15 bucks to create a banner for me if that's what I want to do. But value proposition there, that's where you want to be. If you're doing healthy eating, healthy lifestyle, you know, don't just put your name on there. Cool, you already have your name, so there's no need to put your name on there. But tell me what your channel's about. What are you giving me as a viewer? Then you definitely want to have that there. Because from the videos we're seeing here, you know, you're going after a target audience, going after a specific topic. So that should be reflected, you know, thumbnail wise and channel banner wise.
I am seeing some thumbnail evolution here. This must be like a Canva template, this text with like the glow in the background, because I see it so frequently. It's good to see that you've moved away from these thumbnails where for some reason you put text, which is already of a cartoony font, but then squished it, makes it really hard to read. So it's good to see that you're transitioning through your thumbnail style and it's getting better, less text, bigger text, more emphasis on the food in these cases. But I still feel a lack of audience focus. Come garden shop with me. Why? Is it because you are going to an organic farm, buying certain products, or is it because you're doing it on a budget, or because you're feeding a family of 6? I need a bit more context, I would say, in the pitch to the audience.
Yeah, and that's one thing. And you know, we're all multifaceted individuals, and we have different likes and different interests and things of that nature. What I would suggest though is for your channel, pick the one that's strongest. Pick the one that isn't prone to change or the fickle nature that we have as humans, and really aim that. Not saying that you shouldn't still do your other interests, definitely, but what goes on the channel should be focused in one direction while you're trying to grow. So I would be looking at what's the strongest of those and really going in that direction for now. And still, you can still keep doing the other stuff. You can still experiment with it if you wish. But if you're noticing that when you're doing videos about seeds and they're getting you 10 views, or if you're doing videos about food, you're getting 100 or 600 views, then, you know, you have to look at kind of what's working on the channel and try to go in that direction if possible while you're trying to grow. You know, like I said, doesn't mean you have to stop doing your other interests. It's just about what goes on the channel.
Jeff, you are on fire right now. I don't want to stop you. I want you to keep auditing. Michael Shiro, big moderator here. First of all, thank you. I see you in the live stream chat every single week, moderating. Really do appreciate it. I think we've audited your baseball channel-ish channel before, but you don't always tend to stick to baseball. It now looks as if you're doing you've done some golfing adventures, a bit of workout routines. So obviously we will be suggesting a little more channel focus. I mean, that's actually interesting. I haven't seen yet a mini golf adventure channel. Has anyone yet on YouTube? I think that'd be really cool, showing you all of it. Because Dan, you've played Walkabout VR Golf, which is really fun and entertaining. And can you imagine if somebody went around all of the mini adventure golf parks in the US and started reviewing them?
You could review them. You could do a compilation of your best shots, your worst shots. You know, I would go down one of those roads and focus for a while, because I think that it seems like you're having a ton of fun with the videos you're putting out. But I would love to see, like, if you were to just stick to like one of those topics for a while and cover it back to front, like we were just saying. I'm going to review this thing. I'm going to show the best of. I'm going to show the worst of. I'm just going to make my channel all about this thing, be it mini golf or whatever it is. Like, there's a lot of glow in the dark mini golf videos and things like that. Yeah. I would love to see like a commitment to one thing for a while from this channel.
You have had success with, forgive my pronunciation, Kebblecop as a content creator and fan content. All of these videos are your most popular, and you made such a video 3 months ago, which has more views than the things surrounding it. You could be a fan channel in that sense. Also, I'm wondering, did you change the title of this thumbnail of this video just to say hello to us because you knew you donated? Because it was three weeks ago. In which case, we approve. We approve.
Nice.
All right. Next channel is one where I say you're doing everything right. Thanks for the donation. Just keep doing what you're doing. We've audited this channel before. I remember History Explained.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've watched a few of their videos now. After we audited, I'm like, bookmarked. Gotta check that stuff out. So high production quality here. Excellent aim and focus at what they're going after and their topics. Their videos take time to make, and you can see that in the quality of the videos. But there's not really much we can say because the results kind of speak for themselves when you look at this view numbers on a video from 3 weeks ago.
Incredible. Yeah.
So they're absolutely crushing it. Keep doing what you're doing. History Explained. Love the channel. The only thing I wish more of is that somehow it was uploaded faster because I want more.
Why is the time for every single video, except for with just a couple of them, it's so round? You notice that?
Yeah.
Well,
here's the thing. YouTube always adds a second.
Yeah.
So it'll actually be 11 minutes 59, won't it? Which is
yeah.
If I was to give this channel an idea, I would start a second channel called History Explained Clips. And I would make YouTube shorts of like really important moments of these videos, and or 2 or 3 minute segments, maybe when you're covering a prominent person in history or a battle of these particular areas, and try and experiment as a second channel to see if you can repurpose this content in a really valuable way. Otherwise, you're at 650 BC, you've got another 2,500 years of content to cover. You're absolutely fine. Keep doing what you're doing. Was that a mic drop moment?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to bail. Sorry,
yeah,
guys. I have a repair guy coming in. So, but thanks for all the donations for all of our vidIQ community. You guys are amazing in supporting us and helping us with the Creators for Peace movement. So huge thank you to you guys. And I wish Dan and Rob the best at keeping this going for as long as they do. But yeah, thank you to everybody, man. I gotta get out of here.
Appreciate your time very much, Jeff. Thank you very much. Peace out.
Worries. See you.
There are still a few more channels, Dan, if you're okay.
Yeah.
2 or 3. I think Midwest Geeks was another one with the $20 channel donation. And so they're doing weekly reactions to film, anime, television, games, that type of stuff. What I will immediately say here is Spider-Man. That film was released 2 months ago.
It did just come out, I mean, to buy. So
okay, maybe that's what the timing is there, which has perhaps helped this video. Halo, on the other hand,
that's a TV show.
It's a television series, isn't it? So maybe I'm criticizing the timing, and actually the timing's not too bad. So what it might be is the well, I don't know. I'm trying to find fault with this channel. Maybe there isn't, because I've got 1,000 subscribers and lots of views. Sorry, Dan, I keep cutting you.
It's okay. I think that here's like the problem, and we've given this advice before to channels just like this, where you're reacting to things that are happening. Like Miss Marvel trailer did come out, I think, about 7 days ago. So as the more timely these reactions are, the better. But you are competing with a lot of forces out there. So what you need to be doing is giving more of your reaction, I think, in the title and or thumbnail. So you do say, Miss Marvel trailer reaction. So I can kind of start to see like how your opinion is forming, but I would be way more direct, a little more divisive. If your thoughts are could you have said something a little more impactful, like I'm not looking forward to Miss Marvel, and then like in parentheses trailer reaction. So you got to find a way to kind of stand out, and maybe that's one of the ways you can do it, is to be like, be a little more forthcoming with your opinions of the content you're reacting to.
The thumbnails themselves are actually very functional in terms of what they say to a potential viewer. In that, for example, all right, this is going to be a reaction to Spider-Man No Way Home, but I'm not getting any actual opinion or emotional reaction. You're saving it for the title. And I'm wondering if you could flip that, whereby the emotion and the reaction is inserted into the thumbnail, and then the title is a little more functional in terms of Spider-Man reaction, and then maybe a little bit of a description.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because it's all trailer reaction with a face, and beyond that, we're not really seeing anything else in terms of your actual thoughts.
Yeah, we're missing that bit that helps you stand out from the countless reaction channels, reacting to some of the most popular media that we have available to us today. I mean, everyone's who's a fan of Star Wars, which is a lot of people, is looking forward to Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it's going to be covered left, right, and center. There's going to be people who are breaking down the trailer. There's going to be people who are going to hype up the next trailer and the first episode of the show. What's going to happen in the first 5 minutes, you know? And these are all ideas you can explore, but that's kind of just to give you an idea of like how big this topic is.
Having said that, I want to celebrate your success in that it looks as if you started on this content 3 months ago and you were hitting those relatively small numbers, just like all creators at that time. But you've kept at it and you've created a lot of content. You've been consistent. You've got to your 50 to 100 videos point now where you can start to look at the data a little more. You've got 1,000 subscribers. I assume you're approaching 4,000 hours of watch time as well. And each of these videos are getting hundreds, sometimes thousands of views. So that is all very much celebratory stuff to talk about on your channel, which is fantastic, especially in 3 months in, as Dan said, quite a saturated market. So well done there. Right. Okay. I think, Dan, this might be the final larger channel donation. Hot mess history with T said what hot mess history with Ty said what Ty said.
I would just call this hot mess history, but that's just me. If I were to give you any piece of advice, this is a very long channel name. 62,000 subscribers. People could type in the words hot mess and it might auto-populate with the rest of your names, so it may not matter too much.
Very positive numbers here in terms of the view counts. What I will say about the thumbnails is that they are quite busy with lots of text. However, you do have a certain branding element here in terms of white background, a red title, black text, and then characters to the left or right. So it creates that familiarity with your return viewers. So I think your return viewers are going to come back, which is great. So do you experiment with this thumbnail a little bit to make it more appealing to new viewers? That's possibly a question to ask yourself and test with. But I like the consistency here, even if I don't like perhaps the volume of text here, but it's acceptable because it's easy to read.
Well, I'm just noticing a thumbnail that was a lot more simple, like with one person's picture and then way less text, and it got a lot more views. But
which one was that, Dan? Which one was that?
It's further down. Okay, stop.
Yep,
it's to the right in the top, at the top row to the right. I did not want to claim his child, like so. That might be some permission to test out simplifying your thumbnails because it was just less to read. It was less to take in. My eye jumped to it immediately because it was the one thumbnail out of the ones you were scrolling through that wasn't like, you know, a lot of text.
And then in terms of the content itself, I feel as if it's generally consistent with your topic. Let's have a look at the about section. Just want to see. So, okay, vintage celebrity scandals and old school gossip. So I find I like the way that you're definitely defining your channel as almost like spilling the tea 100 years ago, which is quite an interesting approach to this. And hopefully you've got lots of stories that you can continue to research and talk about. There's occasionally spiky views, like why did this one get 7,500 views? Why did this one get 7,000 views versus 40,000 views, 22,000 views? I would definitely be looking at your outliers and thinking of potential follow-up content to do as quickly as possible because you're churning out. Sorry, churning is not the right word. You're producing content at about a video a week pace right now, which is about standard for a channel such as this, which I think is very much educational, historical content.
Yeah, it's a really cool concept.
And then here's another interesting question, Dan, because most of these are black and white images. Occasionally there are color images. I'm wondering if that has an impact on the click-through rate. Obviously, it's going to be harder to convert some of these black and white pictures into color, and maybe you want to keep them black and white for that vintage style, but that's also another visual difference in some of the thumbnails to click on.
Yeah, I can see that being a factor as well. Very consistent view counts even from 7 months ago.
Yeah, really positive stuff here. Again, just looking at community tab, you're using it very frequently. Brilliant to see. Lots of images and context to your content. I'm wondering again, is this an opportunity where you could turn some of this into clips, a short form channel? So not necessarily testing it on your main channel, just like hot mess history clips, and taking the most salacious moments of this 40 of. So yeah, pick the most popular videos, like this one here, and pick the headline moments, which like with a 20-second piece of commentary, which when you take everything else, it still holds its context and understanding, and you can use that in some clips, just as an experiment. But I would say again, not on this main channel, somewhere else to experiment with.
Yeah. I would be doing like, did you know Charlie Chaplin did this? Oh my gosh. Like a quick little reaction, 15-second video, in and out real quick. And based on your extensive knowledge of this, I think you could probably produce quite a few of those.
All right. So I'm going to say huge apologies if we didn't review your channel and you did donate. We knew this was going to be a little crazy in terms of the way we were setting it up. But what I did promise was for anybody who donated under $20, we would try and get those names as well and pick one or two. So I think of these ones that we've been able to grab,
we have
under $20.
A couple more from earlier.
Okay.
Let me just put them in the private chat here.
Tell me which ones they are, Dan. I will. Savage Central looks like it was another one that I need to add. And then let's see what we can find elsewhere. If you want to put it in the private chat, Dan, or elsewhere.
There's one more, I think, here. So I just added 3.
Yes. All right. So let's add these 3.
Okay.
Then, oops. We will randomly pick one of these for a channel audit as well. All right, so start name picking. It's a shame that Jeff's gone. So Dr. Signer. All right, so let's see if this is going to work. Can I copy that text?
No.
That's really annoying. So I will get that name. There we go. Problems. Stop it. Why is it selecting everything? Okay, there we go. We hope and assume it's this channel. And making skin care fun. All right. So, is this a spot popping channel? Oh, there's something weirdly, oddly satisfying about these types of channels, and especially when you put it into the short form content. Oh my word. That looks truly terrifying. I don't want to click on it, but at the same time, I do want to click on it.
I don't even want to look at it.
I'm
getting upset.
I think you're in the right space here in having a shorts channel dedicated to this. I guess maybe you're doing as a doctor, you're able to comment on this type of stuff, which is excellent. So you're showing a validation and understanding. Some of the videos getting 83,000 views. That's brilliant. So here, I wouldn't be worrying too much about the subscriber count here. Shorts are a very different beast. You just want to be making sure that every time you make a short, YouTube is able to understand that it's related to your previous content and then show it to the same audience when they're in that shorts player. I would say Dental Digest is perhaps a channel to model your content on a little bit, because this guy exploded in the shorts area reviewing toothbrushes and cleaning his teeth. And I can see how many of the elements of this content could be taken and placed into your videos as well. So use Dental Digest as perhaps a little bit of a lead. What about you, Dan? Would you prefer not to spots?
I'm glad you had a channel in mind, because that's what I was thinking. Like where could you take this content? Because some of the shorts have popped off and some haven't. And I've always, but not always, I've been saying lately that when it comes to shorts, like it really is about that first second, and you just want to, your editing's got to be like on point. And so I would be spending a lot of time watching TikToks, watching shorts, just trying to constantly hone my craft in that way, so people don't skip when they land on my short.
I think what this creator has learned is that in terms of their shorts, they are not necessarily the hero. They can be the narrator and the guide, but weirdly, the hero of the content is the popping of the spot.
Right.
And that's bizarrely is what people want to see with this content. But yeah, some fantastic numbers, really good numbers here. Look at that, quarter of 1,000,000 views. And Dan, you'll be pleased to see, I'm sorry I'm going to do this full screen, but it's a good way of how he's framed it for the viewer experience. He's seen that he has a square video, so he can put it at the top, and then at the bottom he can be the reactor to it.
That's really common, like on TikTok and stuff.
Yeah. I assume you're probably doing this type of stuff on TikTok. You've got a TikTok presence there as well. And yeah, that's doing very well as well. You've even got a video there with 1 million views, which is awesome. Oh, stop playing that. Okay, Dan, we're gonna do just one more from this list.
Just like I hope it's about puppies. I need a palate cleanser.
Crafty veteran. All right. Oh, let's go back and copy and paste that. I'm a little concerned there's going to be more than one channel. Oh no. Let's hope this is the Crafty Veteran. And they are, I guess, as that previous channel, hunting channel did, they're reviewing products and devices for perhaps hunting or self-defense.
Yeah, interesting.
For the past year.
Some of the thumbnails from the old videos have tons and tons of text. Are they walking that back in their newer videos?
Getting there. There's still work to be done.
Because I would say the text isn't doing anything for these, right? Like primary arms, micro prism. None of those words, like they're already in the title. Like none of those words enhance the thumbnail in any way. But the price tag would, $200 with an arrow pointing at it would be way more effective than just copying the title and putting it in the thumbnail. So that's going to be I think our first piece of advice.
For a channel with 800 subscribers, view counts are healthy. There are some outliers. I'm looking at these two videos here with 600 views plus. Those are positive. On a backpack review, 500 views. They're positive. It feels as if you have a speciality, it's these handguns. Like I've seen 4,000 views there, 600 views there, 5,000 views there. So compact handguns is certainly a strong area of your channel. And as always, I encourage gun safety and fundamentals, self-defense tips. As long as you're following the YouTube community guidelines, then your content is welcome on YouTube just as much as a Minecraft channel. So don't be worried about that. Just make sure it stays within the boundaries of what's expected on YouTube. So we're thinking clean up the thumbnails a bit, Dan. And identify particular products that you excel in, and it seems to be the handguns. To not exclusively make content about, but you don't want these videos on the channel, like a video that's 3 weeks old and has 70 views.
Right.
It's 10 minutes long. It's done nothing for the channel, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's I would double down on what's working, and I would clean up these thumbnails, because even when you just try and highlight the product, like having your hand and the granite and then the weird little thing, I'm just looking at the latest video, like none of that's enhancing the thumbnail. But like I said earlier, if you just had that thing sitting on a more plain background with an arrow pointing and a price tag, or whatever you feel like is the thing that makes the audience most excited, like communicate that in your thumbnail. And really think about like the person scrolling on YouTube when they see that thumbnail, like, they're going to click on that if that's an item they feel like this. Oh, I could buy this, and it's not even that expensive. Let's see what this person thinks of it.
Whew. That was a truly epic live streaming session. Just to show you in the background the challenge for us. When people send donations through YouTube for a couple of months now, it will show you the channel icon and the value of a donation, but it only shows the donation in the chat for a limited period of time. So Dan, to your credit, you've been going through the chat and pulling out all of his names as quickly as possible, which is fantastic. And look at all of these amazing donations. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much for those donations. We hope that the channel audits that you received were of some value, and I apologize incredibly if somehow we've missed your channel. We, at this point, just haven't figured out a better way to properly collect names and channels. So we knew this was going to be a little bit of a crazy one. But of course, as usual, if you've been watching this live stream and you've been thinking about how you can improve your own channel, then the comparisons are there from the 20 to 30 channels that we have audited today. And the best thing is that over the course of this live stream, I think we've raised around about $1,500 for Creators for Peace. So that money is going directly to UNICEF to aid the child relief efforts in Ukraine. And that's the main reason why we were live streaming today. So incredible. Thank you for all of your donations. We really do appreciate it. Dan, any final words before we take off for the day?
Yeah, we'll be live tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
We are going to be talking about titles and thumbnails, subject we cover quite a bit. Talking about how many creators might be leaving thousands and thousands of views sitting on the table thanks to titles and thumbnails alone.
Thank you for joining us. It will be a regular channel audit service next week, which is free channel audits for all. But we do appreciate your time watching this special live stream and raising money for Creators for Peace and UNICEF. See you tomorrow.